So, uh, welcome friends to another game of Skyfall 5th Edition. My name is Lucian, your DM as always, and today I'm joined by the Lucky Bastards who are trying to get through a endless dungeon. In your last session, you had your first romp through the dungeon and made it past the level 1 and then level 2, and you're now actually sleeping in the boss room of this second level. You've had a brief conversation with Elena, and you've all finished a long rest and are refreshed and feeling much better. And you can see that there's a little pedestal over there where you can summon Elena at any time that you should wish. And she has informed you that she will happily send you to the next level of the dungeon at any time. What do you do?
Did we finish our rest?
Yes, you're all
Okay.
good.
Are we ready to go?
I think so.
Sure.
Why not? All right. Elena.
She shows up on the pedestal there and looks at you all. She says, "Are you ready?"
We are ready to continue.
And with that, you see that all of the surrounding area starts to sort of fade away. And as the form changes, you find yourselves in what looks to be a glass hallway once again, traveling beneath the bottom of the ocean. Do you want to go down it?
I'm assuming there's no other direction to travel, so yes.
Yeah, behind you, there's a set of doors. There's like a wooden door there, which seems to be attached to some sort of underwater structure. And the doors look very substantial with quite a bit of metal banding, and they look very locked.
Is there a pedestal anywhere?
No.
What happens if I push on the locked looking doors?
Ah, yes. Its padlocks on the outside rattle as you kind of give it a little nudge there, and it doesn't budge.
Well, I guess we're not going that way. Let's go. Down the hallway we go.
Okay.
Or I go, rather.
The hallway goes for some time until eventually it's swallowed up into another building, and this one, from what you can see out here on the bottom of the ocean, looks something like an incredibly large square. Like a building without a roof. It's just a straight rectangle of cobblestone here. You can see that little fish kind of move here and there and nibble off of bits of kelp from beyond the glass. And as you go in, you can see that there's a set of doors there. They don't appear to be locked. There's a simple little handle at the bottom of one of them. And you can hear from beyond it some sounds. I'll have all of you please roll perception.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Thirteen.
13's for everyone?
16.
24.
Oh, okay. You can
That's
all
almost
hear
like 13.
the sound of some wind from beyond there, and you also hear, it sounds almost like an owl, like hooing off in the distance. Beyond that, Zai, you also hear what you think is ever so faintly off in the distance behind this door, the sound of metal moving against metal. It's like a clinking almost.
Do you all hear that?
The wind? Or the owl?
No, the metal.
If he points it out, can I hear it?
No, it's really like
Right.
so faint. You have no idea what he's talking about.
No, I don't. Although,
No.
like every level of this dungeon, we should proceed with caution.
Yes, very much so.
That being said, Dudarin, if you would.
I will proceed through the door.
Okay. Opening up the door, you find yourself amidst a cemetery.
Right.
This is quite odd.
There are rows of tombstones that extend down in lines away from the point of entry that you have here. And you can see that just behind you, the door that you've traveled through seems to be like a gate. And to the left and the right, there are walls that go out and block the area. So it's like somebody has recreated the scene of a cemetery, but inside of a room.
Mm-hmm. Are the walls like really bad, like depictions of like the outside?
No, they're just walls.
Okay.
Curiously, though, towards the back end of this cemetery, you can see what looks like an entrance into a crypt of some sort. There's a very large building that has no door on it, and it appears that there's stairs that descend from it. And you can see that on this back wall, there's like a mural painted of what would be like a cemetery scene of trees and a dark night that goes out behind it. But it's clear that it's only two-dimensional.
Do I see an owl?
Interesting. As you
That
look
I
around,
heard?
no, but you do hear a faint sound of one every now and then that comes in throughout the room. And you also see that over at one of these tombstones, there appears to be a small campfire and a plate armor wearing man seated over there.
Oh no.
Does this armor look familiar?
It looks very familiar.
I immediately walk over. Hello, Sir Knight.
You see this knight here is resting here by the campfire, and he turns over and stands up and dusts himself off, and he says, "Hello."
Seem to be doing a bit better.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Looking up, is it actually an animated suit of armor or just regular dude?
That's hard to say.
Kind of walking a bit closer until I can get an idea.
Interesting. As you get closer in this very dimly lit room, there's only a sort of faint bluish light that falls upon everything, and you can see, getting closer, that this is indeed the same suit of armor that you had seen before, animated, and there are spaces in between the different moving parts where there is clearly nothing. You can see a couple more details. The gravestone in front of this fire, where the man was resting, appears to be written out to a one Miss Sir Knight.
If I just stand in the back of the room here and just kind of take a deep breath and try to meditate a little bit, does it feel like it's actually a graveyard with like dead bodies in it, or just some kind of recreation?
Oh yeah, roll insight.
Insight. 2. 13.
Tough to say. It's definitely a somewhat shallow representation of what a graveyard would look like, and yet the feeling of death around you seems authentic. The knight takes a step towards you, Ivan, and says, "I don't believe we've met before. My name is Sir Knight."
Perhaps
My
you
apologies.
remember me. And I kind of like wave my hand at him a little bit.
He says,
I
"No,
poke you in
most
the
certainly
back with my
not, but I'm
staff.
I'm kind to make your acquaintance."
Well, perhaps we've mistaken you for someone else then.
Of course. I've heard this before. So
Do
what
you,
brings you to this cemetery?
We wish to enter the crypt.
So do I. But there are
Why do you
tales
not?
surrounding this crypt, and I have heard only horrid things.
Why do you not enter the crypt?
My own heart will not let me go.
Hmm. Well, is there anything you could tell us about the crypt?
Legend has it that the crypt is haunted with the spirits of those who rest within. It's something that makes them restless. I've wanted to go in there for some time to retrieve an item. Sentimental value, one could say. But yet I have not found that courage.
What would that
Oh.
item be? Perhaps we could retrieve it. Perhaps for something in return.
I don't know what I would have to offer adventurers such as you.
Aid. You seem
What
fit
kind of
for
aid?
combat. You seem fit for combat.
I am but a wandering knight. I don't know for what cause you would have me take up my sword.
Mostly
The
the
not dying in this dungeon kind of cause.
yeah, mostly the very difficult combat encounter seen at the end of this dungeon level.
I'm not sure of what you speak.
Have you met Elena?
No, this name is foreign to me.
Ah. Explains a lot.
I do like this plan. Perhaps, with you new adventurers at my side, we could all traverse this dungeon and perhaps emerge victorious. We could plunder these crypts and I could find the item that I've seeked.
Perhaps we could. So, shall we?
I don't see any problem with it. Dudarin, what do you say?
That's on the better end of our options.
Tell me, Sir Knight, what else do you know of the script? That the spirits are restless.
Yes. Sadly, I don't know any more.
I see. Do you know whose crypt it is?
Ones that rest here.
Can I wander around and just take a look at the other graves?
Yeah, for sure. What are you looking to find?
Like, what are the names on there? Is there dates? Is there anything on them?
Interesting. You can see the little rest in peace symbol that, has been planted into all of these. However, there are no names on any of them. There's no timeline, nothing like that.
The only one that has a name is Miss Sir Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have a date on it?
No.
Well, let's not delay. Shall we? I look around to everybody.
I suppose so.
Let's get in there.
Yes, let's.
Sir Knight follows you inside, but he definitely does not stand at the front of the group and sort of follows in second file here as you continue down.
What is Duke and Cobra's reaction?
They don't seem to really be bothered by it, and you've noticed that this canine is incredibly calm most of the time.
So, Sir Knight, does the name Geofax mean anything to you?
I have never heard this name in my life.
Right. So, apart from this crypt, what else do you know?
I'm confused by your question.
I think he means, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from a great city beyond this graveyard.
The name of which is...
No, I can't remember it at the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's okay. I don't really remember the name of where I'm from either.
Very interesting. Here's Geofax has laid him with simple, rudimentary memories. We'll have to ask Elena about this.
As you descend down the stairs, you eventually get to a small landing on the steps. Here, it pauses for a second, and you can see that there is a room to the left and one to the right, and all of these here have sconces in the walls that hold torches, but they have not been lit, and it has become quite dark as you've advanced down here.
Can I light those with prestidigitation?
Sure, yeah.
Yep, I'd like to do that.
With a brief flicker of magic, you cast alight all of these torches. Sir Knight sees this and he says, "Ah, a magister in our midst."
Yes, quite.
Hopefully not as tricksy as the ones that I've met during my time.
No, I would never do something like that. Not my style.
Glaring at you like wide-eyed right now.
He looks at Metal Tyrann and then he turns his helmet towards the other members of the party to gauge their reactions.
Kind of under my breath, like, don't piss him off.
I know. Saying
I-
through gritted teeth.
When he said that, I just like kind of leaned down and picked my new dog.
So lighting the sconces, what does that kind of reveal about the rooms?
Interesting. You see that both of these rooms have an interesting layout to them. It's like there's coffins that have been set into the walls in rows of 3, so one at about shin height, then waist, and then higher up, and they just go like that, and they cover all of the walls in here. You can see that it's like that for both rooms.
Are they actual coffins or just like bodies?
Indeed, no, they are coffins, and they have apparently been made entirely out of stone.
Okay.
You see Sir
Feel
Knight as
a
he
little
looks
bit
from one room
safer.
to the other, and he says, "Not sure where my item might be found. Should we pick one of these over the other?"
What is it exactly that you're looking for? In case one of us sees it.
A beautiful golden necklace.
Interesting. Okay. Well, you Darren, which room?
Not much one for grave robbing, but
We are not grave robbing. I have no interest in what is in the coffins, but we do need to find the keys if this is anything like the last room.
Last room?
It's a metaphor from our homeland.
I see.
Yes, an elf thing.
Yes. Okay, so I'm assuming Darren points, and I would like to enter that room.
Okay. As you enter into the room, Metal Tyrann, you can see that these coffins laid out here appear to be disturbed to some degree, and a couple of
When
them...
I enter?
No, but getting inside, you can see that a couple of them, like over here towards the corner, have had their lids lifted off.
Darren, I have something for you to do.
and what's that?
Check some open coffins for disturbed remains.
Oh, it's alright. I actually feel quite at home here.
So I'm gonna walk over and
Strange
check
thing
on
to
the
say.
coffins.
Okay. As you make your way over,
Be
Ivan,
respectful, of course.
you can see one of these that's a bit lower to the ground, which you can peer into, seems to have a skeleton laying down there with its hands crossed above its chest, and some items can be found here as well. It looks as though clothing has been left inside of the grave, as well as a couple of trinkets, things like that. However, the body looks like it's been disturbed. It seems like it should be placed straight throughout the coffin, but has been kind of pushed off course.
Do I see the lid of the coffin anywhere?
Yes, it's nearby. It could easily be just kind of pushed back into position.
Okay, I'll push it back into position.
Okay.
Wait, before you do that.
Hmm?
Did you hear? I walk over and I say, "Did you even check for a key?" And I look in, assuming I see the same thing. Sir Knight,
He steps over into the room.
you said all of the spirits here were restless, correct?
Yes.
Perhaps. I'm not accustomed to the ways of humans, but I would gather that their remains need to be set in a certain way.
He shrugs.
Yes? You, dwarf, do you know anything about this?
Aha. Illusion. Would I know? Is it proper to essentially just like put them back, or attempt to like reposition them?
Oh, interesting.
What is the proper proper
As far as
Would I know that?
As far as human custom goes, you have no idea.
for us dwarven custom?
Dwarven custom, you would not disturb a dwarf's grave, and if you did, that would pretty much be like an irreparable thing.
Oh no, I'm saying like assuming that I find the remains, is it more appropriate to try to put them back to how they were, or just cover them back up and put them back in place?
Yeah, you'd probably try and put them aside respectfully.
So I'll attempt to do that for this coffin.
Okay.
Remember, we take no items but the gold necklace of Sir Knight and the key.
We take no items.
We need the keys to proceed.
Then we'll find keys that are not within the remains of those who have passed.
You reach inside and go to move the body, and as you do, the skeleton leaps into action and grabs on your wrist, though its grasp is quite feeble, and its jaw moves as words can be heard throughout the room and says, "I was sleeping," and then all of the coffins start to jitter around in their place, and you hear Sir Knight's voice as he goes, "Oh no, it's happening," and everybody please roll initiative.
Can I attempt to speak to the skeleton, like, before we start combat here?
Sure, yeah.
I'm quite sorry. I was simply trying to put you back in your place. It seems like you had been disturbed.
Interesting. Go ahead and make for me a charisma saving throw. Or not a charisma saving throw, a persuasion check.
Ooh.
13?
13.
-1.
The skeleton just like claws at you and attempts to seemingly pull out a portion of your beard.
Rude.
Where's the next nearest open coffin?
The next nearest open coffin. There's another one over here on this side of the wall, and Ivan was at this one over here,
Okay. Okay, then I would have been, I guess, like, here.
nearby. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at it. Oh, thank God they go after me.
Is that janked? Or is that 19?
Oh, let's see. Where is it?
Oh,
Oh, I think that's janked.
no, that's not janked, is it? Oh, yeah, that's tabletop physics right
wow,
there.
that's beautiful.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's mostly. On
I'd
the
say it's
19.
mostly a 19. Yeah,
Mostly a 19?
it's mostly a 19.
I'd really like to know who like created the physics engine for tabletop and just like congratulate them
Who's
on like a job well
responsible?
done. I don't think I've seen a better physics engine, really.
It's
I mean-
quite realistic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is a lot of
Might I
Sir
plan
Knights.
on
I
their
didn't know
edges?
that he could multiply like that.
All the time.
That was an accident. And there we go.
Sir Knight immediately transformed.
There we go.
Assuming there's like one in front of us.
Okay. Ivan, you're up first. These skeletons are crawling out of their coffins, and some of them, in fact, just break through them as though they were made of like some material many degrees weaker than any wood or stone that you've seen, and they just like
Okay.
burst through them.
I'm going to cast Turn Undead.
Oh, okay.
Go back to sleep.
Which I believe is a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. In a radius 30, is it?
Radius 30, so I'll assume I can move beforehand to there-ish.
Alright. The group of skeletons fails, and they turn to move away from you wherever you are, Ivan.
Okay.
which is most of this room, really. Sai, what do you want to do?
Can I like attempt to, since the one that grabbed me at least seems to be conscious somewhat, convince them to just get back into their coffins?
Sure, what do you say to them?
A lot of you, back to your resting place.
Yeah, make another persuasion check. Oh no!
Oh my god.
What?
Modded one.
You see they try to move towards you, and then the sort of aura of holiness around you repels them, and they don't seem to want to take your command.
Cross my arms looking disappointed.
Alright. Zai, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess they want to fight, so I'm gonna attack that guy.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Very good, very good.
Good start, good start.
That was with your stick from before, right?
Get him all out of the way
Yes.
right now.
Okay, alright. Is that everything?
Well, I'll try to use my bonus action to attack.
Sure.
Oh, well, can't get any worse. Oh my god, I almost got another one. 22.
That hits.
You want me to roll that again?
I missed it. What was it?
It's
Oh,
between the
yes,
bags.
please.
Oh my god. 4 damage.
4 damage.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You go striking out, and the skeleton almost breaks in half from your strike. It crumples back against the wall for a brief second before attempting to move back in your direction, and you can see it's still animated there, but most of its form has fallen apart. Is that your turn?
Interesting. Yes.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of intrigued by it now. I'm just kind of looking at whatever's left of the skeleton.
Right. Mental Tyranny, it's your turn.
All right. What kind of action would it be to close a coffin?
Probably an interaction.
An interaction? Okay, could I close the coffin in front of me and just go, "Very sorry, didn't mean to wake you."
Yes, you could. So you close one of the coffins nearby. You can hear something moving around in it.
I'd like to cast. Yeah, I'll do it now. I'll cast Sleep. That's a 20-foot radius. I think I can direct it onto something, but
It's
oh, no,
whatever has the lowest hit points.
Right.
So
Right,
yeah,
right.
go ahead and roll your dice for sleep.
that is 5d8. Ta-da. Uh, 31.
31. Okay. Let's see here.
And it goes creatures with the lowest current hit points, and then you just keep going until there's no hit points left to
The
distribute.
4 skeletons nearby, they all start to kind of lean back, and it looks like they're getting sleepy when they sort of crumple into bones onto the ground.
Like bones into dust, or like
No,
just
just just a pile of bones.
like they unanimated essentially.
Yes.
Okay. The 4 nearest ones. Okay.
Mhm. They don't sleep for
Alright.
whatever reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, why can't they go down?
I'm not sure why. They have special rules, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Weird. Skeletons can't die.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. Dudarin, you're up.
Well, I'm going to draw forth my greatsword.
Okay.
Rush. This one, I guess, because I can get to him.
Go ahead
I'm also
and make your
gonna-
attack.
I'm also going to tell Duke and Cobra to sick.
Okay.
So close. 22.
22. Okay, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Eh,
9?
9 damage.
Yeah.
Your heavy swing smashes the majority of this the skeleton, but it's still standing. And though much of its form falls apart, it continues to move in your direction. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's all I'm going to do.
Okay. So none of these will move in to the gigantic radius of Ivan here. Let's see.
Duke, why you no sick?
So, yeah, going from player manual, while they're turned, it can't take reactions versus action. It can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect
Okay.
that prevents it from moving. And the turn undead completely fails on any enemy that takes damage.
So this one attempts to run away. The rest of those are asleep, and this one cowers in the corner. There is an attack on Zai, and then a bunch of attacks on Dudarin.
Do I get an opportunity attack on that one skeleton?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and roll that. What did you get?
8.
Okay. The attack on you is a 14. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Dudarin, what's that AC of yours?
Not holding shield, so 14.
14. Okay, so that's one hit out of 3, and then another 3. That is a second hit. So 2 of the strikes that they swing out towards you actually land. And you take... Oh, wow. You take 15 points of damage. They all crowd around you, and as they do, you can hear there's like a chant that they let out. It sounds like, join us, come to sleep. And they all say this while they're making short sword strikes at you. It's strange because it seems as though they're trying to lull you into some sort of relaxed state while simultaneously trying to kill you. And after that, it's your turn, Ivan.
Okay. I will walk over here and take an attack on that skeleton.
Okay. It's asleep, so you have advantage.
That's going to be 13.
13. That hits.
For 7.
7. Okay. As you swing down, you manage to destroy most of it, but it still animates.
Destroy most of it. Like it's in pieces, but the pieces are still moving.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it still manages to cling to some semblance of life. Is that your turn?
Looking around the room, is there anything of note that's not coffins?
Oh, no, it seems to be just coffins. Though many of
Alright.
them are now, of course, smashed and broken.
Was it still, like... is it still an enemy? Or is it essentially just like a bunch of bones that are moving around on the ground?
No, it is going to attack you. And now that you've disturbed it, you can see it starts to move together and turn in your direction. The skull kind of rolls around and faces you.
Alright.
You made him mad.
Apparently.
Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay, Zai, you're up.
mean, is I? Or... Oh, yeah. Wait, where did I go?
No, I think you're after me, aren't you?
I am
Yeah,
wrong.
you're right after me.
I am just stupid.
So I'm gonna try to attack the guy in front of me, or what's left of the thing in front of me. For 23.
That hits.
Did anything bad happen to me when I rolled that 1?
No. You slipped for a brief moment and missed.
Okay. So I still have my D6 on my crappy staff?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Ah, damn it. 5 damage.
Okay. With a second strike, you manage to destroy the skeleton, and its pieces fall to the ground, no longer animating. They just limply move about on the stone.
Okay, and then I'm gonna run over here and... You know what, when I go for this guy, I'm gonna go for his arm holding the sword
Okay.
with my my next potential attack. God, 11?
Nope. Unfortunately, you miss.
Yep, and that is my turn.
Okay. You're up, Mental Tier.
Alright. Instead of waking up the sleepy skeletons, I'm gonna do a little bit of a magic missile
Okay.
against him and him.
Sure.
I'm only gonna cast this at level 1, so I'm gonna do 2 at tab. Oh, wrong thing. There we go.
2 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then 1 on this guy.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll do the 2 first. Wait a minute. Why is that counting that one as a 1? There we go. 5. 5
okay.
damage.
So it's still standing, actually.
Right. The other guy gets 5. Or no, 4. Counting. Hard.
Alright. And that one, too, is still alive. It doesn't look like you've managed to change its course, and it starts moving towards Zai.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He's got a bruise now.
And if
Yeah,
one
like
of these
can
takes
have
damage, they are broken from your turned undead spell. Yes, Ivan?
Correct.
Okay. Is that your turn, Mental Tier?
Yeah, that's my turn. I'm sorry.
Alright. To Darren, you're up.
Well, let's attack the same one. Uh, 16.
16 hits. Roll damage.
There's 7 damage.
7. Okay. You swing your greatsword again, and this time it destroys the skeleton, sending its parts flying about the room. You hear Sir Knight and his lamentations from the center of this little, rectangular-sized room, and he says, "Oh, the tragedy!"
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he's not doing anything?
No, he's on his knees, and he's just, I guess, beside himself.
Sir Knight is the fucking worst.
Well, I'm surrounded by skeletons, so I'm gonna extra attack.
Sure.
Or, yeah. 13.
13. Okay. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Woo! For 8 damage.
8. Okay. This one is the one you're hitting right in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay. He is still alive. Is that your turn?
Just gonna shout out one more time. Duke, Covert, attack the skeletons.
Make an animal handling check for me.
Sure, they jump all over bones, but... that's not gonna work.
You see that Duke and Cobra wanders over to Sir Knight here, and it looks like it's attempting to console him. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
This one moves over here. This one's gonna attack you, Ivan, now that you've roused it from its sleep, and this one closes on you, Mental Tier. So let's see here. We'll do an attack on Mental Tier first. That's an 18.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little.
And then Ivan, that's a 17.
That's a miss.
Okay. So Mental Tier, and you take 7 points of damage as one of them cuts you with his short sword.
Oh boy.
And then there's an attack on Zai, and Zai does a 19 hit.
Yep, it does.
You take 6 points of damage. Dudairn, a 21 and a 17.
Mhm.
Both those?
Yep.
And oh, those are both ones. Okay. You take 8 points of damage as 2 of them strike you. You see that a couple of them attempt to move in and attack you at the same time, but accidentally bump against one another, and the one that you've already damaged here in the corner is smashed with a short sword from one of his companions, which sends him to the ground in pieces. And it's your turn, Ivan.
I'll take another swing at the one the day before.
Okay. What's your weapon right now, by the way?
Warhammer.
Okay.
18.
Mm-hmm.
4 damage.
Oh. You swing down and finally finish this one off. Your hammer smashing its skull. It just kind of falls apart.
Okay. Inspecting the skeleton that I just destroyed. Is it still moving?
No.
Okay.
It appears that with a good enough thrashing, they simply stop.
I'll move up
Okay.
here.
Alright, you can see the nearby slumbering, heavy quotation marks, piles of bones nearby, and Mental Tier being assaulted by one of these. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Alright, Zai, you're up.
Okay. Gonna hit this guy right in front of me first.
Sure.
Quarterstaff. Staff. There we go. 22.
22. That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh,
my
no.
God.
The
4
curse has
damage.
been transferred.
Okay, it's still alive. You do manage to do some good damage to it, but it's still standing. Is that your turn?
No, I'm gonna use a key point to get 2 bonus
Okay.
bonus actions. First one, I'll try to hit the same guy again
Oh, wow.
with an 8,
Okay, nope.
and I'll miss and try to hit him again. 14.
You did it!
Hooray! All right,
You
here
hear
comes a
little
1.
fireworks go off and there's cheering.
Oh, for 6.
Okay, with a second strike, you managed to fell this one, giving a gap for Dudairn to escape, should he so wish.
Okay, and then I'll just turn around and face this guy here, and that's my turn.
Okay, Mental Tier, you're up.
Can I cast Magic Missile from this position?
Yeah, it's homing.
Right, but I always thought casting spells close gave you some disadvantage. Or am I thinking of a different edition?
Nope, you are correct. If you're casting anything that requires a spell attack roll, there's disadvantage on it. If something is within 5 feet of you.
Oh, but Magic Missile.
Yeah, because you could
So-
fire the missiles like in the opposite direction, and they'd still come around and hit it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Magic a missile against the guy. How much damage did I do? I'm all of them against him. He hurt me bad.
This is true. Yeah, it hit you for like 8 or something.
7.
Oh my god, you just get 3 ones?
If I say no, can I change the roll?
Wow.
That's still 6 damage.
That's still 6 damage. Okay, well, it did have damage on it from previous.
Right.
You hold out your hand for a brief moment, and the missiles just kind of fly a few inches away and blast apart the ribcage of the skeleton. It all falls apart onto the ground.
I hate the undead.
Is that your turn?
No. I'm going to move right next to Sir Knight and look at him and say, "What on earth are you doing?"
Go ahead and roll insight. Or investigation, your choice.
Which one do I have proficiency in? Insight. That is the one I choose.
Oh!
Does a 1 get me anything?
Nope. Just utter confusion.
Damn you, Geofax.
Dude, Aaron, you're up.
Well, let's start my turn by using Second Wind,
Sure.
because I am very low. A 9.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So I get 12 back. With my new vigor, I'm going to attack the skeleton above me.
Okay. Ooh,
16.
that's enough.
I was hoping on that 19. 5 damage.
Oof. Okay.
You're welcome, guys.
Your swing is not enough to fell this skeleton.
That is okay. I will not die.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. These ones still slumber quite peacefully. The others here, though, they continue trying to drop you. So 3 attacks on Dudarin. 2, and that one's a 17. So a 21 hits, I imagine.
Yes.
And you take 6 points of damage as one of them slashes you with a short sword. One of them attacks you, Zai, and does a 14 hit.
No.
Okay, so you're safe there. These ones continue not to do anything, and it's your turn, Ivan.
Alright, so these 3 are all asleep, correct?
They are. Yep, they've just kind of turned into small little localized piles of bones.
And how injured does Dudarin look?
He's got some blood on him, but he's still standing.
Alright, I will dash to over here,
Okay.
and that's my turn.
Zai, you're up.
Okay, first attack on guy. Uh, 14.
14 hits.
Oh my god. 4 damage.
Wow.
That
And,
right there is what we
you know
call
what?
the Curse of Mithranbor.
Yeah, let's see how much worse this gets. I'm gonna use another key point and do 2 more attacks on him.
Okay.
Oh, shit. 8.
Nope.
And...
Oh.
16.
Yeah, that'll do.
There you go.
For 7 damage.
Okay. Finally, with a strike kicking the side of the head, the skull bursts into dust and bone fragments, and the whole thing crumbles to the ground.
Okay. Oh no, I was attacking this dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't care about the guy behind me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So with those 2 hits, then that one will be gone, and this one will be over here.
Okay, so after I take that guy out, then I'm just gonna turn and face this guy again.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Mental Tyrann.
Okay. what to do. I think I am going to... 1 second. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Not very exciting, but I'm gonna magic missile again.
Okay.
Easy damage, and skeletons can't exactly be charmed, so...
Okay.
So, one for each of the 3 surrounding the party. Not the sleepy one.
Okay.
Behind Zai. 4.
Okay.
In between Ivan and Dudarin.
4.
4. Okay. I wasn't sure if that counted or if I had to reroll. And the last one. 2.
Okay. All of them take these magic missiles, but they're still standing. And though you break off pieces of bone fragments here and there, they continue to try and slay your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
That's
your turn?
okay. They should be easier to kill now.
Alright.
No, that's not my turn. I poke Sir Knight with the butt of my staff and I say, "Get up and help us!"
He says, "Oh, how terrible the times are when the dead rise from their graves." Is Metalturn gonna have a stroke?
He might. I don't smell toast yet.
Okay. Dudarin, you're up.
Well, I'm going to attack the one standing in front of me, since I have help now.
Okay.
$17.
Okay. Yep, that hits.
For a nice 10 damage.
Okay. You managed to send this one flying across the room in pieces.
Woo! That's all I can do.
Okay. And after that, let's see. A couple of attacks. One on you and one on Zai. So Zai, that's a 23.
Yep.
Dudarin, that's a 20.
Unfortunately, yes.
So 8 damage to you, Zai, and 4 to Dudarin. And it is your turn, Ivan. Ivan is muted, but he rolls a 20.
Oh, sorry. Hitting the one between me and Darren.
Okay. Oof.
Ooh, 15 damage.
Yeah, so this skeleton just pulverizes and turns into dust. And is that your turn?
And that's my turn.
Okay. Zai Kataka, you're up.
Alright, let's try to get this guy in front of me here. That is 20.
That hits.
Can I not roll 1?
I don't know, the Mithrin Boar curse.
Hey, 6!
Okay, with a swing of your broken quarterstaff, this little wooden pole goes smashing through the skeleton and it breaks apart. You are no longer in combat.
Woo!
Once we finish up, I'm actually gonna just go around to the piles of bones and probably pick them up and put them back in the coffins. And then once I put what I think is like a full skeleton, I'll close the lid and move to the next one.
Okay. Many of these coffins are broken, and you can see that the stone was actually just sundered by them on their escape, and as they kind of broke out all at once. It's rather strange, given that it feels like solid rock, but they've made their way through it so easily. However, you do manage to pick up their remains and start stuffing them into their now slightly damaged containers and kind of put them away as best you can.
Going to assist Agataka and use mending to seal up the coffins as we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
And
slow work.
keeping
but
an
you
eye
can
for
do that.
keys. In each one.
Ignoring the coffins, I sit down for a rest, like a short rest,
Okay.
with no intention of moving forward until we get one.
I will join him.
Does everybody go for a short rest here?
Well, I'm sure Ivan and I would probably have to finish up with all the skeletons first.
Okay.
How long is a short rest?
That's 30 minutes.
Can we take 2 short rests?
You only need one.
If I take 2, I recover all my spell slots, though.
I don't know. That's up to your group. Do you want to wait here for an hour?
Meneltiern will, regardless of what they think.
Okay. So half an hour goes
Piece of
by,
shit, so.
and and you have successfully gone around Ivan and Zai. You've repaired the coffins here, while the rest of the team kind of bundles together at the center of the room and rests. Even as your spell finishes, Meneltiern, you notice that the skeletons in the corner don't move.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole
Kind of what I thought might happen.
the whole thing concludes after half an hour here, and you're finally finished. Ivan and Zai, are you going to continue on or wait for your companions?
I will take a peek into the room over here, and just see if it's a similar situation. I'm not gonna really dive into it too deep.
Yeah, I'll probably take a look as well.
Looking
They
into-
didn't see any keys in any of these coffins, by the way, right?
No, you didn't. And looking into
Okay.
this next room, as you start to peer around, Ivan, it looks very, very similar. Though it looks as though none of the coffins here have been disturbed.
Anything other than coffins in this room?
No, it's just lined with them endlessly.
Endlessly.
Well, you know, they're all over the place.
Okay, and then these are stairs going down, correct?
Yes.
Anything that I can see just like looking down the staircase?
You see what you think is another set of openings both to the left and right off the staircase at another landing much further down. It's very sort of faintly visible from the torchlight that you have up here.
Oh, what is Sir Knight doing?
He is seated there. He just sits.
He's in shock.
Are you doing all right, Sir Knight?
Oh yes, I'm feeling much better now.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, for all the help.
Oh, but I didn't help.
Oh, no, I must not have noticed.
Don't worry about him, Sir Knight. We get that you're distraught.
Oh, boo-hoo.
He looks at the two of you and says, "You're a very strange group of adventurers."
Well, we'd rather deal with undead trying to kill us.
Then sit there wailing on the floor, lamenting over nothing.
I was overcome by sorrow.
I'm just gonna come over and pat him
perhaps-
on the shoulder.
Maybe you could collect yourself next time.
Gives you a nod, Zai.
It's okay, Sir Knight. You don't have to
Don't
fight.
tell him it's okay. The whole reason he came with us was to help.
The whole reason we're here is to help him.
No!
He says, "I know that I had agreed to help you fight, but something stole away at me once all of those undead rose up, and I found myself unable to come to your aid."
Oh, you mean utterly useless. Is that the word you're looking for?
Yes.
Well,
We all have our
perhaps-
faults. I have never been very good with dealing with these sorts of things.
Perhaps that might have been something you could have, mentioned beforehand
I suppose it would
before
have
we
been.
went? Ah, you suppose.
Well, looking back on it now, I can see how that would have been useful information.
You know what, Sir Knight? Even if you feel overcome and can't
Die?
fight, at the very least, could you perhaps look tough and scary? I mean, you do look quite formidable.
I will try next time.
That's all we can ask, Sir Knight.
No, we could ask that he actually do something. That's what we could ask.
Listen to him, Sir Knight.
Your party seems very conflicted.
Because I'm surrounded by idiots.
The knight looks over at everybody else in the group.
And just shrug at him.
Same.
Well, what do you all wish to do?
Do we get the 2 rests?
Yeah, if everybody waits there, 2 rests go by, a whole hour passes.
Much better.
Sir Knight seems to amuse himself by petting your dog here, and everybody just kind of rests there and does very little of anything.
Ivan, Zai, what did you see in the room next to this?
Well, it's quite similar to this one, although it didn't seem that any of the coffins had been opened.
Search for any keys or...
I
Cookies.
figured waking skeletons while you were resting was probably not the best idea.
Right.
You see Sir Knight nods in your direction.
Well, perhaps we shall investigate now. And I start walking over.
Okay. What do you want to do? It looks much like the other room, though none of these coffins are disturbed, and all
When
of
I
them have their coverings.
When I step in, does anything happen?
No. This
Okay,
feels very still.
I'd like to just kind of walk to the middle of the room and then just kind of do a 360 and kind of just take it in.
Okay, yeah, looking at all of them, you can see all the time and care that went into creating this room and how sort of level everything is with everything else.
Does anything in particular stand out? Any, like, specific coffin or anything?
Oh, interesting. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
You know what? I'm actually gonna go back to the other room and take a look and see if any of them have any markings on them.
Sure, yeah, you can make one as well.
I hate my life.
That's not so bad a roll. What was that?
Mine's
That's
11.
a 4,
Oh, it was a
technically.
1, right, okay. What was yours, Zai?
11.
11. Okay, looking about, no, it looks as though the coffins are identical.
Okay, so I'll come back.
And I'm assuming I gathered the same thing.
Yes,
Yep,
looking about,
looks
they
like a
look
bunch
all
of
like the same.
coffins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I say, well, doesn't look like there's anything that stands out here. We should continue.
Well, shall we head to the next landing?
We should.
Okay. So I'm going to erase a portion of this here. And because the building structure is very similar, we're going to reuse this room here. So when you guys get down to the next landing, it looks like it's more or less the same, but the contents of the room are very different. And you find that on the right side, there appears to be a collection of urns in this room. And they're all stacked upon many, many shelves. And towards the left room, you can see that there appears to be some sort of formidable-looking furnace at the center of it. And a bunch of what look to be perhaps blacksmith tools or some sort of crafting equipment.
I'm gonna walk over
are
and
there
inspect this furnace.
are there any sconces that need to be lit?
Yeah, so, sorry, I was assuming you would light those
Yeah.
when you
Okay.
got here.
No. Okay. Yeah. I would have.
Okay.
Just wanted to double check. So, furnace, urns.
Yes.
Uninterested with smithing. Go over here.
Rip.
Rip.
You step over there, Ivan, and in this room you can see, indeed, the furnace is quite formidable. However, it is most certainly not a furnace made for blacksmithing, and you can see what looks to be some sort of incinerator, and you see empty urns laying about. Curiously enough, there is something odd here, however. Go ahead and roll your stone cunning for me.
That would be 18.
18. You see that at the top of this furnace, a little bit out of reach, but something that a human could grasp with some relative ease, there appears to be a hole in the stone. It's as though an object is supposed to fit there, a diamond-shaped one. There's clearly been a hole left in here, and something missing.
How large of a hole?
It appears that this diamond-shaped hole is large enough to be roughly like 3 inches in length, maybe 2 to the side. It's shaped like this. You know, like the kind of diamond that you would see on a set of cards.
Okay, and then aside from the furnace, is there anything else in this room?
Interesting. Looking about, you can see the different implements for this strange incinerator, all of the urns that I mentioned before, and some other tools, things that look like they might be useful for moving about objects you wouldn't want to have your hands on. You see tongs and the like. You can also see over in the corner what looks to be a stretcher, and on it you can see a corpse.
Fresh?
It looks like there's still flesh on it.
Okay, walking over, where's the corpse? Not touching it, I just want to take a closer look.
Okay. Yeah, getting over here, you can see what looks to be a corpse that is in disarray. There is a good deal of aging and rot that has already seized this body. It's clear that it died some time ago. Looks like a human, maybe in his middle age. Seems to be wearing what looks like a commoner's outfit.
Okay. A furnace, some tools, stretcher, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna continue just kind of walking around looking to see if there's anything else.
Sure. Yeah, there doesn't really seem to be anything else. The urns could maybe be useful as containers, and the tools themselves could possibly be useful implements as well if you had use for a very large set of metal tongs. Apart from that, though, seems as though that's it. The furnace, I should mention, is also not lit at the moment.
Can I see anything down the stairs?
Yes,
here?
it looks like the stairs continue on until they eventually get to what looks like an incredibly impressive set of double doors that are 30 feet across, 20 feet up.
Padlocks?
Ah, interesting. No, you don't see any padlocks.
What do I see in the urn room, by the way?
The urn room is absolutely stacked with urns, and there could easily be... Sorry. There could easily be hundreds of them in here.
Oh. Any urn out of 100 that stands out?
Looking about, go ahead and make an investigation check for me. See if you see something odd.
Let's do better this time. My goal. I swear to God.
Wow. Wow.
That's 3 1s in a row.
Wow.
This dice is going away.
Is it now a bad time to mention that ritual I do steals luck from the other players?
Yeah, evidently.
High elf superiority here, man. Damn.
Must not be very interesting.
So no, looking about the room, it appears that they are all identical.
I mean, if it's just a bunch of urns, gonna walk back out into the hallway.
I'm gonna ask Sir Knight, do you know what's behind the doors?
Oh. He says, no, I have no idea. I have never been this far into the crypt.
I'm surprised you made it past the first step.
Indeed, I doubt I'd be able to muster up the courage without such fine adventurers like you at my side.
Hmm.
Does his helmet, like, completely cover his face?
No, you can kind of see through the slit into just pure darkness on the other side.
Sir Knight,
Yes.
could you remove your helmet?
Why, of course. And he reaches up and pulls off his helmet, and you just see there's nothing there.
I just had to be sure.
Of course. He puts his helmet back on.
Do you think you have a face?
Excuse me?
You heard me. Do you believe that you have a head and a face?
Why, of course I do.
Yep, that's about what I thought.
He looks over at you, Dudarin, like, just absolutely stunned by Meneltyrn's actions.
Here, I'll take him. Here, let's go sit on the steps.
Okay.
I have to tell you something.
Yeah, something important you should probably know.
He looks at you and he says, Did you find the necklace?
Not so much.
Oh. Okay, well if it's important, I'm all ears.
So, first, do you know how long you've been here?
I simply came to pay my respects to one loving but departed, and I don't know. I maybe sat there for perhaps an hour.
Right. Could you remove your helmet again?
Of course. Takes the helmet off and holds it in his arm, and he says, I really don't see what the big deal is about that.
Don't waste your time, Dudarin. He's not gonna get it.
Take your other hand.
He holds up his hand.
Try and run your hand over your head.
You see, he reaches over and seemingly rests his gauntlet on some sort of invisible object there. And he kind of paces it around, like, over his forehead and his nose, and he goes, yes, yes.
I look back at Meneltyrn.
I'm looking at him like arms crossed with an "I told you so" look on my face.
He turns towards you, Dudarin, and he says, I think I understand.
Yes, and what is that you understand, Sir Knight?
He looks over at you and he says, I had forgotten who I was all this time.
Kind of like lean in a little bit.
Yeah, let's go with that.
He says, I've worn this armor for so long, I had forgotten my own face. But I am a knight, and I should be fighting by your side, even if what surrounds me is indeed very scary.
Right. Sir Knight, may I do something? Very quickly.
He puts on his helmet and turns towards you.
If you could leave your helmet off for this.
He says, no, I am ready for combat now. You have shown me the courage that I had lost so long ago.
Yes, taking off your helmet made you very courageous. You're quite the brave man, Sir Knight.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm just sitting on the steps, licking my open hands. How? What dark power do I possess that is causing all of this around me?
I walk over to you, arms crossed still. I told you he wasn't gonna get it.
But But that makes no sense.
No. Okay. Maybe I should explain something to you. Geofax has obviously created quite a extensive facade for each of these areas. He even created, and I lean in for this and whisper just to avoid the conversation really, an animated suit of armor that thinks it's real, with fake memories.
You can see from beyond Meneltyrn's shoulder that Sir Knight draws the sword that is at his side and triumphantly kind of holds it down the hallway towards the doors, and he says, "We shall vanquish whatever undead we find in there."
Yes, quite. And the thing is, he will never understand that he is a suit of armor. Geofax has laid this area with quite a substantial amount of magic. Yes? Okay, good. And I pat you down on the shoulder, and then I come and I go over to Sir Knight and I pat him on the shoulder. Good job. And then I just kind of walk over to the mouth of this room and I go, quite ready to move on.
I would be poking around in that furnace.
Di, what are you touching?
Interesting. Okay, so you go poking about inside of the furnace, and let's see here. You find that there is a object in there that you're able to seize upon. It appears that there's a few coins still within all of the ash that can be found in this furnace, and you managed to retrieve 3 platinum coins from within.
Oh,
Do you want these, Ivan? And I'll just put the 3 platinum in his hand.
Guess I'll just take them looking very confused.
You've gotten yourself into a strange group.
I was hoping for the gold chain, but I found something worse. You can have it.
aren't those worth...
Yeah.
Didn't you say you needed money for questions or something?
Not right now, I don't think, but perhaps in the future.
Right. You are strange. Well,
Is this-
Ivan, did you find anything of value?
Nothing of note, I don't think. Looking around though, can I use or collect some of the tools in this room to start making a blacksmithing set?
Oh, no, unfortunately not. You definitely are missing most of the tools. There's some
Never
that would
mind
carry
then.
over here, but most of what you would need is not available.
Okay, the things that are here are the common, cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. Nothing really in here, just large furnace.
All right. Well, if you're quite done, we would like to continue.
Hey, was that corpse over here? Could I tell if it's a male or female?
Yeah,
Guy,
it looks
don't
like a
touch
man
that.
in his middle age.
Okay.
Are you gonna go poke it?
Well, maybe just like
Die.
poke
If I see
around
his
where
eye
his
moving to
pockets
poke
are.
it, I'm gonna make sure he
Die.
doesn't.
I don't want to touch the body just in case he's got something like a necklace in his pockets or underneath him. I'll slightly lift him up a little bit and then put him back
Die.
down.
Okay. When you start to lift him, the corpse moves and seems to animate like some sort of zombie that turns in your direction. And he says, "Who wakes me?
An idiot.
My
Idiot,
name
why
is.
have you woken me?"
No. My name is Zagataka.
No, his name is Idiot.
I'm looking for a necklace for my friend, for his departed wife, or from his departed wife.
He looks over at you and he says, "I know not of this necklace, but I know I should not be here. Why? Why?" And he looks around his surroundings.
I know not what of magic that lets you still live.
It was an
Nothing
evil
like I've seen.
wizard, I say, waving my hands in the air.
Yes, those wizards and their meddling. And he turns over towards you, Zai, and he says, "You must help me. My existence is
Help you
torment."
how?
He
What is
turns
it that you
over
ask?
and looks at the furnace.
He wishes to be cremated, I believe, Zai.
Is
I would
that what
gather
you would
from
like?
the urns next door, the large furnace, the fresh corpse.
He nods to you.
Would appear to be a puzzle, yes? I know you're a little bit slow, Zai. If you'd like, I could, walk through it one more time, a little bit slower.
I'm not quite sure you're aware of what we're doing here either.
Geofax created a large dungeon with many puzzles.
Yes.
Right.
So,
So obviously,
this
there's a
this furnace
puzzle.
here. How exactly? Do you know how we started? I don't believe it's been used in some time.
I don't know. I don't know that I could gather that information.
Oh no, I'm
I
asking the
haven't
corpse.
spent. Why would you ask a corpse, Zai?
The corpse looks over at the furnace and says, "I don't know."
Is it okay if we come back later to help you?
The corpse
Do you have a name, sir?
The corpse holds on to you tight, Zai. Its form still having some strength as it yanks on your clothes, and it says, "I don't know."
Well, I will find the way to start this furnace. I promise I will come back and release you from this torment.
Hmm.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Not bad.
I have negative. Yeah, I got 14.
Okay, interesting.
But I really do want to help.
He lets go of you and kind of leans back and, strangely enough, falls back exactly in the position that it was before you had disturbed it, and just goes still.
Zai,
Well, I
remember
suppose
when
we'll
I
need to
told
find
you
how to start
not
this
to
furnace.
touch things? You remember that?
Well, I wouldn't have met this nice zombie man if it wasn't for me touching him.
Sir Knight pipes up, and he has his sword drawn. He says, "This crypt has many, many evil secrets."
Yes, oh, so evil. Quite. Let's continue.
I'm actually
Good
gonna go
night.
in this room since I haven't been
Perhaps
in
you
there
would
yet.
like to lead?
"I think that I shall," and he starts to step down towards the great double doors.
We'll meet you down there, Zai.
Are all these jars in here sealed? Like, if I pick one up, like,
Yeah,
are they full of ashes?
they do have tops on them, but you can remove one of the tops if you'd like.
You know what? I would actually, like, upon finding that money in that incinerator, thinking maybe there's a necklace potentially if his wife was cremated there. So I'm actually gonna go and probably pick up and shake or check every jar in this room.
There's hundreds
Okay.
of jars.
You reach over and shake one of the jars, and you can hear that there must be some sort of sediment inside. The ash moves about, and nothing happens.
All right. Well, as I pick them up and confirm that there's nothing there, I'll start to like pile them in the corner here.
Oh my god.
Okay. You move those over there and continue going through them and hope to find something of value in them. Unfortunately, though, it seems that after you've gone through a couple dozen, that you find nothing.
I don't know. I'm kind of determined. I may keep searching while they go down that door.
Okay, yeah, keep going. And then you guys are down by the door here, and you can hear what sounds like a creaking from beyond it. And Sir Knight turns back towards you and says, "I think it is now or never."
Yes, quite. One moment though. Zygataka, I just shout up the stairs. If you could, quit harassing the dead and join us.
I assure you, I harass nothing. Great respect for the dead.
I'm sure.
I'm probably just gonna hang out at the top of the stairs for now and see what happens when they try to open the door.
Well, if you will, Sir Knight.
He reaches over, grabs the handle, turns it, and starts to push away these incredibly heavy doors. And there on the other side, you see an incredibly gargantuan, lumbering figure, the height of many men stacked upon one another, what looks to be an intact skeleton of a minotaur that has in his hand an axe so mighty that it could cut a cart in half. And it turns over towards you. You see this axe dragging in one hand, a small glittering gold necklace in the other. And I'll have everybody please roll initiative.
Well, we found it, guys. What is mage armor? Is that a bonus action? Bet it isn't.
Does Sir Knight have a sword and a shield?
It appears he has a longsword, and that is it.
Okay.
Oof. Oh, got that incorrect. There we go. You see that Sir Knight looks over there and sees this gold necklace, and he shouts out, "That is not yours to take!" and then runs out to meet his foe in the center of the room.
Of course he does.
And he goes to swing a strike. And unfortunately misses. It is your turn there. Oh no, sorry, it's the enemy's turn. Let's see here.
He crushes Sir Knight in one blow.
Making a single swing towards Sir Knight, you see that he steps out of the way in time as a heavy axe comes swinging down, and pieces of stone from the floor break under its massive weight. Though, Sir Knight is unscathed. Meneltier, you're up.
I'm going to attempt to cast suggestion. And I would like to suggest to the giant bone minotaur that he should give the necklace to the knight before him.
Interesting. Suggestion does it have a saving throw?
I believe that it does.
Does it work on things that are already in combat?
Let's see here. Just a course of action, magically influence a creature. It has to be able to hear and understand me. Creatures that can't be charmed or immune. This suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Wisdom saving throw. My DC is a 13.
You can feel that the spell does not take effect, and it doesn't drop the necklace.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, exactly. Roll the 15.
Do I gather that it didn't work because he was he like resisted it, or because it couldn't affect him?
Oh.
And could I gather that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a insight check.
Okay. There, that is a 20.
You're confident that this spell could work, but it simply fizzled out this time.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
That, yeah, I was gonna say that is my turn. No, I move back. About
Okay. So Darren, you're up.
here.
Well, have this long sword and just go at it. Because Gudern can do nothing else. $16?
A 16. Okay. With a 16, you do manage to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
You had me worried there.
Mm-hmm.
9 damage.
Oh, okay. 9 damage. The creature is barely phased by your strike. Is that your
That's
turn?
always what you want to hear when you're fighting a giant minotaur.
Yes.
Wait a second.
He shrugs it off.
Oh. No, that's kind of it.
Okay. Zai, what do you want to do?
Oh fuck, sorry. How big is this guy exactly? Like, does that fit inside of his rib cage?
Well, from atop the stairwell, it looks like the waist of this creature goes up to, like, Cernite and his height.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on, as long as I think I'm exactly, like, 90 away from him, from Sir Knight. If you'll allow me, I would like to use Dash and run down the hallway as fast as I possibly can, and then as I get closer to Sir Knight, I just want to yell, "Launch me!" and jump in the air and have him, like, assist me so I can jump over him and, like, on top of this skeleton guy.
Okay, I'm gonna make an intelligence roll here for Sir Knight.
I approve of this plan.
Okay, it's slightly above mediocre. He turns over to see you running towards him, and as you come running, you're gonna slide across the floor.
Well, no, I want to, like, jump up in the air
Right.
and yell "launch me" and have him, like... I mean, he could even hold his sword out and I could try to, like, monk jump off his sword.
I see. Okay. He kneels down and gets ready to attempt to, act as like a stool or perhaps launch you up towards this creature. And as this is happening, tries to connect with your feet as you're trying to leap over him. Let's see what he gets. That's an 18. He successfully throws you and manages to give you a couple of extra feet from your jump. And you land right at the center of this minotaur. Can you go ahead and make for me an acrobatics check? Oh,
Okay, that's gonna give me 20.
you have successfully grappled onto this creature and are basically hanging off of its rib cage like a set of monkey bars.
Okay, cool. That's like all I've got, so I'm just gonna have to. That's my turn.
Ivan, you're up.
Uh,
Oh god, what are we doing?
what are we
Only
doing?
good things.
I will move up here.
Surprised our party hasn't died yet. Like, completely.
Getting there.
EPK.
I mean, we've tried.
We tried our darndest.
So this thing's completely skeletal?
Yes.
Okay. Going to use my spell slot, activate my spiritual weapon,
Okay.
and attempt to do the same thing I did on our previous enemy. Go for the legs with both attacks.
Sure.
Do my normal attack. So that's a 14 and a 23.
They both hit. Roll damage.
Oh. Okay. That's 16
16 total. Okay.
in total.
With the first strike, you see a crack form at the base of one of these heavy legs, and then as your spiritual weapon swings around and strikes, the crack breaks, and you watch as the leg falls apart. And this creature is now leaning on one knee, basically.
Oh, I'm pretty satisfied. That's my turn.
At that point, let's see. Sir Knight attempts to grab a hold of the necklace instead of making an attack. And, unfortunately, misses it. The creature here turns over towards you, Ivan, and makes a swing with his incredibly heavy axe. Oh my god, he rolled a 5. Woo! Let's see here. After that, it's your turn, Mentaltier.
Good. Good. Okay. I'm gonna kind of focus again, and suggest again, give the necklace to the knight.
Okay, let's see what it gets on his save. Ah, well, that is
Did you add
a
a please?
14 minus 1. But it would still pass with a 13
Right.
against your save.
This motherfucker.
I see your problem. You need to say pretty please.
What?
Down to something.
Yeah.
I don't like this skeleton.
That word does not exist in High Elf vernacular.
I don't know. With the rest of my turn, I look to Dudaren's useless, horrible dog, and I say,
That's uncalled for.
That's just rude.
and I go, do something, go.
Okay, make an animal handling check.
I'm sure this is only gonna go well.
Dog attacks Metal Tyrion. Something.
That's a 10.
Okay. You see one of them licks his chops and the other one kind of like stares off into the room and it just stays seated there.
Is it licking its chops at like the skeleton? Like, ooh, bone.
No, it's like it's cleaning his teeth kind of.
Okay. I just go, fucking useless. That's my turn.
Okay. Dudaren, you're up. You can hear the faint sound of someone insulting your dog from behind you.
I'm just gonna keep that later.
17, okay.
19. I'm sorry, 21.
Alright, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Seven.
Not bad. Okay, you get a good strike here and break off a piece of the ribs, trying to avoid hitting Zai as he sort of grapples on this creature. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, Zai, you're up.
Okay, so kind of using his ribs, I'd like to just shuffle around to his back.
Okay, make an acrobatics check for me. This is partially for that and also to stay holding on because of the damage
17?
that Ivan did. Okay, yeah, you're able to maneuver around and you're now on his back.
Okay, so I'm assuming I'm hanging on, so I cannot use my staff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a key point, and I'm gonna try to kick 3 times into his spine.
Okay,
Same
yeah.
spot over and over.
Make those attacks.
So first one. Oh shit. 13.
That hits.
Okay, second attack is
Mhm.
That's pretty good.
24, and then the third one.
Yep. Now here comes the Metal
Okay.
Tyrion curse.
Only ones on damage.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Love my odds with these D4s.
Oh. A 4,
So
a 3, and a
8.
1.
And how many times am I adding proficiency or my dex to that?
Each time.
Okay, so that's 17 damage.
17 total. Okay. Your first hit breaks off a small piece, and then the second one leaves a crack there. The creature almost turns to respond when you get the final kick and it breaks. What part of the spine are you hitting?
The part below me.
Yeah, so like right where his waist would be, kind of?
Yeah, like basically just as much force as I can around where my feet are to try to break him in half.
Okay.
We paralyzed the skeleton.
You can see there's a brief moment, everybody, where the creature goes to raise its axe, and the weight of doing that seems to coincide with these kicks, and the spine snaps, and the creature falls apart down to the ground. Its top half still fighting, however, and though the legs take a couple of steps off towards one direction and then fall to the ground, no longer animated, the torso is still here. Zai, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to try and escape without being crushed as it sort of like rolls over.
Six. 11.
Okay, you successfully like disengage and step off here as it like falls down to the ground. And is that your turn?
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be my turn.
Ivan, you're up.
The skeleton is just torso up now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving around to its back. Moving my spiritual hammer as well. I want to essentially do the same, coordinated strike on, I guess, like the neck part of its spine. Right
Okay,
below the head.
yeah, for sure. It's low enough now, too, that would be relatively easy.
Regular attack.
Oh, is that a 2?
That's
Oh,
2.
Well, there's a 9.
That one I believe is a 14. Let me check.
Yeah, 14 hits.
Yeah, that'd be a 14.
Ooh.
For 4
The
damage.
curse. Okay. You get a good strike in with your hammer, but it's not enough to kill the creature. And it seems to turn around and drop its weapon. And instead, its very heavy skeletal hand comes in your direction. Sir Knight makes a second attempt here to grab a hold of the necklace. And this time, it looks like he still doesn't manage to grab onto it. The creature goes reaching over, and who does it prefer, Ivan or Zai? Let's see. Ivan is 10 or above. Zai, one hand comes reaching out and grabs a hold of you for a second and squeezes, and you take... You take 26 points of damage.
Oh my god!
Shit. That's my full health.
Are you still with us?
Okay, let me just check my sheet here.
Oh my god.
Sorry, 26?
26.
I have 2 health.
So you are A-okay.
My
Meneltyr,
God.
it's your turn.
Holy shit.
This creature, even though it's been reduced to just its upper half, is still as large as any man, and its very large arm is currently, like, grabbed on to Zai and crunched him, and then lifted him off the ground like a foot, and then just let go as he sort of, like, fell to his knees in pain.
Okay, kind of coming to the... closer to the entrance here. What else is in this room?
Oh, the whole room. It has some other features that you hadn't noticed at first. There appears to be another set of doors back here.
Hmm.
And this door does indeed have a single padlock on it.
Okay.
The rest of the room has an intricate mural that seems to have these minotaur skeletons all over it. It appears that there's 3 of them.
I don't like that because there's only one in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. Intricate
Yes.
mural and another door.
Indeed.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm going to go, what else? So the creature has the necklace in one hand
Yes.
and he dropped his weapon.
Yes.
Is there any what's on his weapon? Are there any like gems or anything?
No, it's just a gigantic axe that no
Okay.
normal-sized humanoid could ever
Right,
wield.
right, right. And what does Sir Knight's wife's necklace look like?
It looks like a little circular gold pendant attached to a gold chain.
Okay, so nothing particularly intricate or interesting.
Yes. At least not
Um,
while it's being swung around here.
Right. In that case, I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Interesting.
Let's
Okay.
see if he likes jokes.
What's the joke you tell him?
What did the skeleton say after he finished, or before he ate dinner?
Okay.
Bon
Be-
appetit.
You're you're not even halfway through the joke before the skeleton just like completely stops attacking and rolls over onto its side. You're like,
Darren
what did the
groan?
skeleton say? And it just goes into it, and you can see as like the heavy jaws of this minotaur beast go back and forth in some sort of, non-discernible laughter.
They're
Darren just
Perfect.
groans.
Psychic
You
damage to
didn't-
Dudarian.
you didn't hear the rest of the joke. You don't know what was funny.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Dudarian, it's your turn. You can groan extra as a free action.
I'm just gonna raise my greatsword and bring it down as hard as I can.
Sure, you have advantage. Go ahead and make that attack.
Each time it takes damage, it gets a
Gonna need that advantage.
Ooh.
a chance to save out of it. That was good.
There
So
you go.
close
Yeah,
to
go
a
ahead and make that
critical.
attack.
Almost a crit.
I mean, I crit on a 19. So
Right, exactly.
10 damage.
There you
Swinging
go.
down, your sword sticks into the skull, and then as you pull it out, a crack forms, and the skull splits in half, and the rest of the creature stops animating, tumbling to the ground in a pile of incredibly large bones.
Any keys?
No, there are no keys.
Anything? Can I search the pile of bones?
I kick the biggest piece of it that falls down beside me
Sure.
after he crumbles.
I grab a small bone and wave it for.
You only grab one?
I'm holding my sword, so I can only do one at a time.
Kinda rude to your dog, who's a useless piece of shit.
I throw the bone at Mentaltier.
Okay, the bone flies through midair, and right
It
before
does.
it hits him, goes da 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 da, and we'll go to a quick break.
Okay.
Bum, 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 ba-da-na, bum, 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 ba-da-na.
Okay. I'm gonna go get me a snack.
Indeed, we'll be back in 5 or 10 here.
Kind of disappointed the skeletons don't fall.
What do you mean?
I just feel like they like. I know it'd be like hard to. Whoever
Oh,
put it.
like in the game here,
Yeah.
like tabletop physics character models.
I mean, I kind of get it. Whoever made them probably wanted them to like fall apart, but that would be too hard.
Oh, we've seen them having trouble with dice physics, let alone skeletons falling down.
True. Okay, well, let me get a drink.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Twitch chat's a little quiet tonight.
Really been looking?
I don't know. After last session, there was some gold in there. I was hoping for some more great suggestions.
I mean, last session was weird for everyone, so. Been pretty standard D&D for the night so far.
Yeah, I mean we are in like the standard D&D dungeon, but one that is literally like an alternate dimension.
All kinds of goodness.
All kinds of goodness. And loot. So much loot.
Trying to figure out what the gimmick is here.
I don't know. You mean in this specific level?
Yeah.
Not entirely sure. I'm gonna assume that there are 2 more Minotaurs, which is not great. But I guess we'll see as we continue.
I mean, like, is like the necklace gonna bring back his wife or something, or
Is she gonna be equally as annoying as he is?
or is the necklace the key to the
Mm-hmm.
like the padlock in order to fight him?
Right.
Diamond-shaped sword. I'm interested, chat. Tell me.
What's chat talking about?
Chat's very
Di-
crafty.
A diamond-shaped sword?
That's possible.
Chat is metagaming for us.
Yes.
Thanks, chat.
But why does chat exist if not to metagame?
Fair point.
Damn it, chat. We're trying to be good players.
Tempt us to the dark side.
I mean, if you play D&D so long, it's kind of hard not to.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're in the D&D dungeon.
I'm back. If you guys were waiting on me.
Welcome back.
I mean, more that like a mimic showed up and like, oh, I only know the exact stats of that monster.
I choose to use a Dark Souls mimic in mine.
That's evil. That's just evil. There's
No
the
one
Dark
has
Souls.
encountered one yet.
Aha, that means they exist.
Have you met Illusion before?
Yeah, he's an evil man.
Uh-oh.
I just read the first bit of that. So it's like 90% of the time that I play really high. I was like, congratulations, it's probably a lot of fun.
I just lost connection to the server for no reason.
Oh. Alright, we'll wait for you to get back in before we start up.
Mm-hmm. 80% of the time I play really high. Perception.
Not showing your game.
How strange. I am online on Steam.
But I can't join off of Relic. Join with you though.
It's like that Before Forest song or whatever. It was like, I'm gonna make you come tonight over to my house. Subtle. Ugh, beautiful.
There's so many of those songs where, like, if you actually listen to what the words are, it's like, this is terrible.
No one would let their children listen to this.
I mean, no one, if anyone really paid attention, they wouldn't let their kids watch any 90s cartoons.
There's some good ones in there, but yeah, a lot of them have some pretty, heavy
Cow and chicken.
subtext.
Cow and Chicken, for example. First episode's fine. Episode 2 was like just a straight up like rape joke episode. I was like,
I must confess I don't know this.
oh, cause a friend of mine, his like younger brother is like now 6. But when Cow and Chicken was on like Netflix, he was like 2.
Mhm.
They're like, ah, sure, you can watch this, it'll be fine. No. Probably shouldn't.
We gotta put jokes in there for the adults, right?
I mean, I laughed at it. But I'm a horrible person.
Aren't we all? Is everybody here? Are we good to go?
I think so. Is Relic here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect.
I'm so fucking ready.
Need more enemies to throw myself at.
Okay, there we are. Awesome. Okay, and we're back. You have all successfully defeated this horrid skeletal minotaur here at the center of the room, which lies in a heap. You see that Sir Knight quickly makes his way over and grabs the necklace, and he holds it above his helmet as he looks at it in awe and says, "Ah, we're together at last."
Oh,
If
I'm
you-
very happy for you, Sir Knight.
don't mind me asking, what's within the locket?
Oh, well, it is but a picture of me and my love.
May I see?
It's a rather personal thing.
I
Make a
feel like-
persuasion check for me, Maneltiern.
Right. Is he technically creature from the sea? We are under the ocean.
Nice try.
That's an 11 plus. I believe it's 2, but I'll double check. Yeah, 2.
2. Okay.
So 13.
He pauses for a second, and then he says, sorry, I think I'll keep this to myself.
Hmm.
However, I haven't been completely honest with you all. I do have a reward for you now that I managed to get a hold of this long-lost item of mine.
Yes, and it is.
He reaches into his breastplate, his hand seemingly just like morphing through it, and then pulls out what looks like a large diamond. And he hands it over to whoever is closest to him, being Dudair.
Is it the one that fits in the thing?
Yeah, it looks like identical to the size and shape.
I just
Yeah, I grab it and run off.
I look at Sir Knight and I say, where did you get that diamond from?
He says, "Oh, it's a long story, but I've
I'm sure
always
it-
had it."
Mm-hmm. I mean on your person.
What do you mean?
Where did you take that from on your person?
Well, from my armor.
Right, how did you take it from your armor?
Well, you and your strange questions.
Yes,
Metal
yes,
Tier.
yes. I'm a wizard. I'm a little key. But just humor me, you know?
I walk over to Meneltier and put my hand on his shoulders, like he'll never understand, and then go
No,
after
but
Zai.
it's quite funny to watch.
You see, Sir Knight
Oh.
looks over at you, Meneltier, and he says, "I think that you're trying to pull some trickery on me, wizard."
I assure you I am not. But
Hmm.
I'm simply asking you a question. I only wish to know how you removed the diamond from your armor. I just want you to walk me through it. No. I'm not quite as smart as you, great Sir Knight.
Says, "First you meddle with me, and now you patronize me." And you see his fingers kind of tap along the top of his sword.
Do not forget that we assisted you in retrieving your locket.
Perhaps I shall be off.
Perhaps. Well,
Turns and starts to walk away from you, going up the stairs.
Oh, wait,
well, I'm
he's
going up
leaving?
this- It's that kind of awkward thing where like we're both going in the same direction, but we're not talking anymore.
Yeah, he walks like a few steps in front of you.
I'd run out and stop Sir Knight before he got to leave.
Okay, you stop him here at the landing, and he turns to you as you step in front.
Are you leaving already, Sir Knight?
He says, "Yes, I've accomplished what I set out to do. I've regained my courage and my honor thanks to you all, and I've managed to retrieve a very valuable item. I would say
Well,
that it's time for me to go."
I do hope that our paths cross again one day. You are quite an honorable man, Sir Knight. And
They
I'll
will.
bow
It
at
is
him.
built into the dungeon, Zai.
He looks over at Meneltier and then looks towards you, Zai, and he says, "I am tempted to test your friend's honor."
Oh, I assure you, the other three of us have more than enough honor to cover his shortcomings.
He says, "I would hope so," and then turns and starts to walk up the steps.
Bye, Sir Knight.
Zai, why? Why even bother? He's a construct of the dungeon.
He's a very nice construct, though. Quite honorable as well.
Meneltier just sighs heavily.
Ivan, shall we?
Well, I suppose so. Did promise.
I guess we'll probably put the diamond into the furnace.
As you place the diamond up there, you see that the flames of the furnace just burst into being, and a warm glow spreads throughout the room.
Well-
Taking the diamond out, do the flames go away?
The diamond cannot be removed once it's in place, and you find that as you try to go and pull it back from its socket, that it's very much secure in there.
Well, get on with it.
Help me, Ivan.
I'll attempt some basic last rites. I'm not familiar with human customs, but
Okay. Say
Um,
a couple of short prayers as you go to gather the body.
as we lift the stretcher and bring it over here, can we try to wake him up right before we get right before we put him in?
Sure. You go and touch him, and he immediately turns over towards Uzai, and he says, "Why have you wakened me?"
And then we throw him in the fire.
I've come to fulfill my promise to you. You wish to be released from your torment and manage to restart the furnace. Are you sure this is what you really want?
More than anything in my life.
You're not alive.
All right, so I'll say a little prayer, and I guess Ivan and I will slide it into the furnace.
Okay. The whole stretcher and the corpse disappear into the flames, and all of it goes up in smoke. You see that the body disappears, and sooner or later, something begins to change. You hear the sound of stone sliding, and over towards the left-hand side of the room, right here, you see that an alcove is shown by a small hidden door. And there, within the alcove, is a pedestal that has a key floating atop of it.
Ah, the key.
Finally.
See, it pays to go poking around. And I will check for traps before I touch anything, and then if it looks clear, I'll grab the key.
Okay.
I just shake my head and walk down to the door, waiting.
As you nab the key, and it floats there above the pedestal, much like the previous level you had been in, a small, bluish-looking humanoid form appears atop the pedestal, and you hear a familiar "Congratulations!" and like little bursts of light appear all around you. Exactly. And you can add a key to your inventory. Oh, I think Zai might have fallen over.
No, I'm here. Thank you, Elena. Was that it for this level?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright then, Ivan?
Hmm.
Shall we move on?
Didn't find anything in that room with the urns, I suppose.
No, I searched through quite a few and came up with nothing.
The chat asks a good question. When we killed the Minotaur, did we each get a single gold coin?
No, you most assuredly did not.
Alright, so we'll probably just back and join the party over here then.
Okay. As you leave, you hear a yell from the pedestal that says, "Good luck!"
I don't like that.
So do you all collect down here by the door?
Yes.
When you get to the end here, do you go and unlock the padlock?
Yeah.
Okay. It's almost as if there's a vacuum force from beyond the door that pulls the two of them open the moment that the lock is finished being opened. The lock and the key disintegrate and disappear into nothingness. Beyond the door, There is nothing but a swirling black portal that beckons you forward.
Well, it would appear that this will be the final difficult challenge. Shall we rest before we continue?
Yes, I've seen better days. Don't think I'm up for much of a fight right now.
All right. Well, let us set up camp here then.
You said there was 2 other skeletons in there?
On the mural, there's a depiction of 3 minotaurs. And
Oh, there's a
Minotaur had
mural,
mentioned, I
okay.
don't like that, because we only fought one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't wanna sleep in this room. I'll do my rest in here.
Okay. The furnace continues to burn, and this room is warm, unlike the others.
Shall we join Zai or stay here
Tail Talk, we're intending to take a long rest or short rest?
long?
I only have 2 HP, so I need long.
Okay.
Is that what we're going for?
Well, if we're camping for the night, say being away from the swirling black portal is probably a good idea.
Whatever. Never mind. Whatever makes you all feel safer, I say with air quotes.
Okay, so you're all gonna rest through the night then?
Yeah, before I begin my rest though, I want to use detect magic and just sort of do a sweep of the crypt.
Magic is everywhere.
You can feel that there's a magic everywhere. The sources are slightly different depending on where you go. There's most assuredly a stronger magic that emanates from the furnace, and likewise from the pedestal in the corner of the room.
Okay. And if I explore the rest of the crypt, this room, the 2 rooms with the coffins.
Okay. Sadly, you find nothing. However, if you go up to the very top of the crypt, you will note how Sir Knight is still there and seated at his fireplace, at his little, his campfire there.
Does he have his locket?
It appears that he does. Is that it, Ivan?
Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay. So you
When
all
I
managed.
trance for the 4 hours, I just want to do it in front of this furnace because I've probably never really seen tons of them, but I know what they are. Like, I guess it's probably be like a sacred thing for a guy who deals with death for a place where dead people finally pass on out of the world. So I'll do my trance in front of it.
Okay. A full 8 hours go by, and everybody gets their long rest. You wake up feeling much better the next day.
Yay.
Alright, now for some breakfast.
Do you have food?
Yes.
You have 2 rations for your animal companion?
Yes.
Okay.
They are good for another day.
Boy.
Either I will go hungry or one of them will.
Okay. So you feed Duke and Cobra, and he kind of just stays near you, and you all wake up somewhat lazily at first and a bit groggy without having the best conditions around you all. But you are all feeling very refreshed. What do you wish to do?
All right. Let's go to the portal.
The portal.
I let everyone step through the portal before I do.
I'll go first.
I'll follow.
As everybody
I got
steps
this.
steps inside, you eventually find yourselves in a room with a set of very large pillars that run along it.
it have like an edge, like off into infinite nothingness?
No, strangely enough, this time there are stone walls. No apparent exit.
The dungeon
Pillars.
is learning.
The pillars go straight up to the roof.
They do.
So there is a roof.
And in here, you see what appears to be two very large skeletons. These minotaurs here, the missing pieces of the equation that turn over towards you. And I'll have everybody please roll initiative.
Now's a good day to die.
Of course, that's my nat 20. Of course.
Oh, that's rough. Okay. Not bad. Darren, you're the first to go. You can see that both of these creatures look almost identical to the one that you had seen in the other room, except these have a sort of terrible green flame that burns from their eyes, and you can see that these flames dance around its body every now and then as well.
I don't like any bit of that.
Shouldn't have climbed on the first one.
Well, get out the great sword. I'm not gonna bother dashing. But I'm gonna give about there.
Okay.
Stand ready.
Are you dodging?
Yes.
Okay. Zai, you're up.
Just skipping right over me.
Oh, what? I moused over that and I guess my... Ivan, please. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm going to run up to the skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Divine Favor on my my hammer.
Alright. Zai, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to come running at him, and I'll try to jump, and I want to use my quarterstaff, or what's left of it, to try to hit him in the weapon arm. Preferably his wrist, if I can actually roll properly.
Sure, make your attack.
Want me to re-roll that one?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
19.
19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Like how we instinctively went after this shorter one.
That would be 6.
Okay. Its hand does not break, but you do manage to chip off pieces of bone, swinging downwards towards it.
Okay, so I would have kind of jumped, and my follow through would have been just about over here, and then I'll try to do like a leg sweep and try to kick his ankle.
Okay.
15.
Mm-hmm.
For 6.
Okay.
And after that,
Standing.
yeah, I'll just turn to face him, and that is my turn.
Okay. After that, Meneltier, you're up.
Yup. I'm gonna move myself right over here. That does put me in range. I'm going to cast Suggestion on this skeleton minotaur, and I'm going to suggest Wait, what kind of weapon is it?
It has a gigantic axe in its hand.
I say throw your axe at the other minotaur.
You see he turns over there and throws his heavy axe over Ivan's head, and it lands clattering to the ground over here.
Fine by me.
There's a moment where it just kind of stares off at its weapon, almost as if contemplating what it had just done.
Like, what the fuck did I just do that for?
Is that
My
your
eyes
turn?
kind of go wide, and I look at him like, it's gonna crush me.
I would imagine the axe would do a little bit more damage than its fist.
Is that the turn?
Move. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This one wanders over and picks it up, dragging the both of them, and then makes his way over in front of you, Dudarin.
That's not nice.
It's just very quickly backfired. Oh no.
At least I took the dodge action.
The one near you guys turns towards you, Zai, and let's see here. Who does it prefer? Yes. He goes in and reaches in a sort of familiar way to try and crush you with his incredibly large skeletal hand, and does a 17 hit.
On me?
Yes, on you.
Ah, yes.
Don't worry, it's only 26 damage.
Not too bad. Okay. You take 11 points of damage as he reaches forward. It doesn't quite get the same grip around your torso, and you're able to finally get out when he drops you to the ground. But it's still horridly painful. And Dudarin, you're up.
Okay, well, this is an issue. So let's just swing a greatsword at him.
Sure.
21.
Mm-hmm.
That was some lag.
I saw that. Ooh.
12 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to extra attack.
Sure.
I don't need any of him anywhere near me.
There you go. That's a hit.
Yes! Oh, the ritual works.
Don't worry, I have a plan.
For much worse 6.
6. Okay. He still stands, and is that your turn?
Yes.
Ivan, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna take a swing at the skeleton, aiming for the legs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna 8 misses.
Mm-mm.
And
Yep,
a
that's a
bonus
miss.
action, use Bolt of Inspiration to attack again. An 11 hit.
An 11 does not.
Wonderful.
Sweep the leg.
Zai. Sorry, Ivan, is that the end of your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay, Zai, you're up.
Yeah. First attack, I'm gonna try to hit him where I hit him the first time with my staff on his arm.
Okay.
There you go.
22.
Yep, that hits.
For 6 damage.
Okay. Smashing the hand for a third time, you see what you think is a finger that breaks off from his hand.
Alright, key point, 2 more attacks. Try to kick his hand and fingers. Only
12 hits.
12. Okay, and then let's roll the second one here. 11.
That's a
Does
miss.
not hit, right? Okay, so for big 4 damage.
Okay. You strike again, and this time, with your final kick, manage to break all of the fingers of this large skeletal hand, and it falls apart, leaving but a stump at the end of his arm. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. It's your turn, Minotaur.
Minotaur, 2 axes. I would like to cast Pasha's Hideous Laughter.
Well, save of a 3, it falls down to the ground, dropping both of its weapons.
Told you I had a plan, guys. Just kind of want to. Apart from repositioning myself, which I'll do in a moment. That's all I got.
In frustration, Zai, this creature turns to you and goes to grab you with his other hand. Go ahead and make for me an acrobatics check.
Oh, 11.
Okay. He goes to grab you, but it's slow enough that you're able to move out of the way, and it doesn't successfully manage to get a hold of you. The creature over here, it can make a save when for Tasha's? Is it at the end of its
At
turn?
the end of its turn, and each time it takes damage.
Okay, let's see. At the end of its turn. Oh, well, that's an 18. So it breaks free, turns over and sees that you're there, Dudairn, and begins to get back up to its feet.
Are you sure it was an 18?
I'm super positive.
Okay.
And it's your turn, Dudairn.
Just checking.
I'm just gonna go, nope, you stay down. For 18?
18, that hits.
Good thing these things are, like, big. Easy targets.
Wait, I forgot to tell him my joke.
That's a 4.
4, okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah, fighters don't get a whole lot.
Ivan, you're up.
Hey, taking a swing at the same skeleton.
Okay.
That's a 15 hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I still have Divine Favor going, so the D4 is going to be radiant damage.
Okay.
Quite a bit. So that's 7 physical, 4 radiant.
Okay. With a triumphant strike, you manage to shatter one of the legs here on this creature, and it falls down to one knee again.
Okay, is it low enough that I can hit its spine?
Oh, yeah, you could certainly try.
Alright, bonus action, Bolt of Inspiration, try and hit the spine.
Okay.
12.
That'll hit.
Cool. Uh, 8 and 2.
Okay. You fought evil before, and this is no different, and you dispatched this with a strike to the base of the spine, which explodes, and ribs basically fly across the room as the whole creature falls apart.
Haha. I will then move over here. That is my turn.
Zai, you're up.
Okay, so I am going to run over to this guy. I'm gonna use a key point to get 2 bonus attacks.
Okay.
So basically, I'm gonna run over, like, do a jump, try to hit him with my staff, and then try to do 2, like, kicks, and then land on the other side of him.
Acrobatics check, please. Okay. You'll
15
pull off
on
the
that.
maneuver. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
your attacks.
Let's see if anything hits, though.
Oof.
Okay,
Yeah.
first one with the quarterstaff is 21. Then the first bonus attack is 21. And the third one is...
Oh, man.
Alright.
I think he hit.
Damage time.
Better when it was a D8. A new staff.
Can you use a
3,
battle axe?
1, so 5, 6, 9, 15.
Okay. The creature is heavily damaged, and by the time that you finish your flurry of blows flying over it, you have broken off a piece of its horn, part of its skull is cracked, and one of its shoulders looks damaged as well.
Alright, well, I'm just land on the other side and ready myself for my next attack, and that's my...
Okay. And Meneltern, you're up.
I hope you're ready, guys. I point my staff at the skeleton, and I say, "Are you sure you wouldn't like to hear a joke? It's quite humorous." And cast Tasha's hideous laughter.
Oh my goodness. 18!
You're the fucking worst.
No jokes today, boys.
I
Is that your turn?
look a little disappointed as a free action.
Okay. I'm sure
I-
people see that you're sad off in the distance.
I look over and just kind of scratch my head, like I don't get it.
I'm just shaking my head.
The creature gets up and you see that it grabs its weapons there, and instead of swinging them, it kind of curls up for a moment and brings its arms to its chest, and you see a green flame start to swell within it, and then a burst of it flies out all around you. And I need the three of you who are in combat with it, Ivan, Dudarin, and Zide, to please make a dexterity saving throw.
Chat, this is what happens when you ask why he hasn't used the green flame yet.
Something tells me this is gonna be half damage even on a pass, which I did not pass. I'm dead, guys.
That's 13 for me.
13.
Hey, Chad,
12.
stop giving Illusion suggestions.
I
Please,
only got a
and
7.
thank you.
13, 12, and a 7. The 13's fine, so you will take half damage. Everybody else takes 7.
Take 7.
Yes. Are you still with us, Sai?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
up.
Why does chat want us dead? That's what I want to
I
know.
think it's just a weird fetish of theirs. The Minotaur
Mocking
then
you.
pulls up these large axes, and you see he starts to turn and goes into a spinning motion with them. And Dudarin, it's your turn.
I'm going to sweep the legs, Johnny.
Okay.
Yes.
There's no way I'm letting him do that. Eey, that's a 13.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage there.
I forget, skeletons don't have high AC.
No, but they sure can hit for a hell of a lot.
10 damage.
He's still alive, and you swing out, damaging one of the legs. It kind of hobbles for a second and gets back up. Is that your turn?
I gulp,
Okay. Ivan,
and then
you're
it's
up.
my turn.
Okay, making a swing at one of his legs. 14.
14, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Uh, 8 and 1.
Okay. The swing shatters his already damaged leg that had just been struck by Dudarin. And as this happens, he tumbles down and drops the axes before falling apart into a pile.
Woo!
Is anything happening with both piles of Minotaur bones?
No, they simply blow away into nothingness.
Is Elena up here?
Ah. You look around expectantly, and you see that there is a small pedestal that seemingly appears from nowhere over here.
Thank God. I walk over to the pedestal.
She sees you approaching, and she says, "Congratulations!" And all
I
these little
say,
sparkles appear all
"Yay."
around you, Minotaur.
What is our reward?
She turns over and points at another one of the pillars, which seems to fade for a moment, and it reveals that it was but an illusion of some sort. And there, at a raised platform, you can see a chest which waits.
I'd like to approach it. If no one else is.
I'm approaching it.
Ivan and I are approaching it.
And we shall see what it is.
2 arrows.
2 arrows of +1.
I swear to Christ.
Ah, Monk needs a new staff.
Can you use the
Well, I
battle
just
axe?
rolled a 20 on your luck roll, so it's
Holy
probably not an
shit.
arrow.
I call dibs.
I don't even know what it is.
Dude, Darren instinctively is like, this one's mine. I call this one.
I give it to you, man. You're the leader.
Let's see. I mean, I'm probably not gonna be able to use it.
Okay.
Can,
We're gonna
can
roll
Zai...
a d6 here, and if this d6 happens to be a 6, you will get a Sovereign Stone, and if not, you will get some sort of neat item from the book. Ah, okay, book it is. So you find... It's okay, only Monday's group is destined to have the stones.
Hey, we have
We already have one.
Well, kind of. Yours is on loan. It's not the same.
I'm keeping it.
I'm keeping it.
I just haven't told him yet.
I'm gonna
Oh,
tell
this-
Theo to fuck off next time.
Wait, that's a good question. Can Theo even reach us here?
If we stay here, he
knows?
can never take it back. Interesting. There's a small loading bar that sits above the chest.
While it's loading.
Searching.
Can Zygataka use battle axes?
I don't think so. I can only use simple weapons and short swords.
Okay. I'll
The
see if I can...
textures slowly load in.
Indeed.
There's spinning hourglass on top of it.
Yeah, that takes me back. A little pop-up appears at the bottom. It's like, your connection may be slow.
May consider turning your router on and off again.
Chests open faster with Internet Explorer.
Oh my god.
Out of here, Windows 10.
That's when you just fucking smash everything.
Yeah, it's not Internet Explorer. It's Microsoft Edge. Come on now.
What? Is that a thing?
They renamed their hot garbage
Oh.
to make it better.
Don't worry, it's not garbage anymore. It's completely different.
Right.
It's completely different. It's not Internet Explorer. It's Microsoft Edge.
Garbage, they added an accent.
Exactly. Cat is still concerned as to whether or not we get a single gold piece.
You know what? I share their concern. I understand.
Chat, can't you be happy for once?
No, they can't. They're
What
never
a stupid
satiated.
question.
You know, they said there was no such thing as a stupid question, but you just proved them wrong.
You find a
Uh-oh.
potion inside. And at the bottom of this potion, there rests a very small note that tells you exactly what the potion is, and it is apparently a potion of clairvoyance.
Ooh.
Apart from that, the chest is filled with gold pieces. And you find a total of 100 gold inside.
So 25 each.
I like that amount.
So I don't know who wishes to take what. But the
Would I know what the what the clairvoyance spell does?
Indeed. So the
Okay.
note goes on to further describe how it works, and it details that the one who drinks it basically is able to cast a clairvoyance spell.
Right.
It's
Okay.
a single-use item.
Oh, Mr. Magic Person, what does clairvoyance do?
Clairvoyance allows you to create sort of like an how do I put this in layman's terms? Clairvoyance lets you see or hear something in a place you cannot see, but that is within a certain distance from you. And I kind of like look to see if he's getting it.
I mean, do I get it with an int of 10?
Yeah, you have a rough idea of what he's getting at.
Alright.
I played it out pretty patronizingly, so I
I
would
would've-
get it.
I would have assumed it's lets you see the future, but
No. That is far more powerful magic.
Does it let you read people's minds?
No.
Well, I don't want it.
Right.
I don't know
We
if
can
that's
just-
because Zai wants to read people's minds, or he just doesn't want Mental Turn to have it.
Well, we can just keep this in a readily accessible bag. I do not think we will need it anytime soon.
I don't understand this magic stuff.
Okay, I say, never mind. And I pick it up and I put it like in my cloak.
Yeah.
Because evidently nobody understands any.
I understand hitting things with the sword is
Yes.
pretty effective.
Yep. Sure is, Judarin, sure is.
Elena, how do we get out of this room now?
We will let her know when we're ready.
Well, I'm ready now, aren't
No,
you?
we are not ready. We are not ready.
She turns to you and says, "Are you ready to go?"
No,
Oh, okay.
die. Stop.
Are there weapons, are they still there, or did they fade away too?
Sorry, no, everything fades away. All of the debris from the monster disappears.
Even the weapons?
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
Not that you could have wielded them.
Well, no, I was gonna see if the handle was made out of wood and then try to...
They
break
were,
them
but it
off.
would have been like wielding a 2x4.
Better than the tiny little thing I've got.
That is a stupid question, chat.
Fuck. Uh.
I'm good, yeah, I don't need anything in this room.
Okay.
Right, but do we wish to take a rest?
Yes, I guess I do need another rest here. This floor was not an easy one for me.
No, we should be okay as long as the next floor isn't only a boss.
Perhaps a short rest then?
I could live with a short rest.
Okay, so you're all gonna rest for 30 minutes?
Yep.
The room is secure, there are no interruptions, and 30 minutes go by, and you can go and roll whatever hit die you need.
I just want to regain some spells.
I want some spells. So I can tell more bone-related jokes.
I know.
I
I've
wish-
got a couple. I don't want to use them just yet.
I like that
was-
my second wind recovers on short rest, but really wish that extra attack did.
Did want to ask if the skeleton minotaur wanted to go out to dinner. Perhaps he could order some spare ribs.
Wow. How do you do this?
I'm a piece
Are you
of
even
shit.
human?
I am 100% a piece of shit.
I see.
It took a lot of training. You know, it runs in the family though, so wasn't that hard.
It was an inherited skill.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's a
make a lot of
racial
bad
bonus.
puns. I make a lot of bad puns, but I have the decency not to force the internet to listen to them.
I want Illusion to lose viewers. Is really what's happening.
Oh great, now even they're getting on the bad puns.
Oh my god.
I love the chat.
So after your short rest, Elena still waits there atop the pedestal. Do you want to go into the next area?
Are we ready?
Do we want to? No. Will we? Yes.
Yes, Elena, yes.
Okay! And you see that everything starts to fade away. And when it comes back, you are once again in a hall that's traveling towards what appears to be a much smaller building at the base of this ocean here.
Real quick question, because I forgot to ask. When we saw the portal previously, was there like an exit shaft?
No, you went through the whole dungeon and didn't find a single exit shaft. If there was one, you must not have found it.
I think Elena
Okay.
said something about there not being one on every floor, so.
I thought she said there was one on every floor.
She had told you last time that there was one on every floor.
Oh.
Is there a pedestal in sight anywhere?
No, you are just in a hallway.
Glass hallway under the ocean?
Yes.
Okay.
So-
And what does the building look like?
The building you're going up to is like a small igloo almost at the bottom of the ocean. It's a little circular dome, and it's much smaller than the one that you had gone into before.
Okay. What's behind us?
Behind you is just a stone wall.
Okay.
So, probably table talk this now. Do we want to keep like going through, or do we want to like really try and find the exit shaft in this floor?
Well, we can't go back.
Yeah, why do we need the exit shaft? We can just go to the next floor.
Well, I mean, in floor 4.
Was that? Yeah. Wait, was that 4? Or
That was
the-
3.
That
Yeah.
was 3.
Yeah,
So
so
we're on
this,
4.
the one you're going to is level 4.
Okay. I mean, I don't think we can go back table talk. So.
No, I mean, like, do we want to keep going on to like floor 5, or do we want to find the shaft on 4?
I think the group will come to a decision when we get there. I have a feeling it won't be one Darren is happy with.
I'm more speaking of like I have like 5 rations left.
You have 5 what?
5 rations left.
It's worried about starving in a dungeon.
Right.
We'll find something to eat.
Get for having a dog.
I got like 7. I'm okay for now, for a couple days.
Okay. So if you continue down this hall, you see that it eventually comes to a hole in the ground. And at the bottom of this hole, you see what looks like a grassy, sunlit field. The hole drops for a little bit, goes in a few feet. So you can't actually just like peer down and look around to see what's around there.
Wait, did you say you can't peer down, or you can?
You can't.
Can't. Okay.
Like, we can only see what's directly underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it big enough to fit a person?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, guys. How far away is the ground underneath?
It looks like a substantial drop. It would probably be a little painful, though not, life-threatening.
I say, okay. On the count of 3, jump. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Does anybody jump with me?
No.
No, that's fine. I cast Featherfall on myself.
Okay, Mentaltiern, you leap off and just sort of gracefully fall down into what looks like a grassy field. And
As soon as he starts falling gracefully, I jump and catch onto him so I can fall gracefully too.
Only That's not how that works.
make a dexterity check.
Do I see this coming? Do I have time to dodge?
Yeah, you can try and get out of the way. Go ahead and make a dexterity
Oh,
save.
I'm not even gonna bother.
Oh my god, you get a 20?
Yeah,
Jesus
you did.
fuck.
I'm gonna see if I roll a 20.
Yeah. Might as well check.
Oh nope, flick. There we go. Oh,
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Almost.
Okay.
Did Ray? Did that
You're
work?
tumbling down here, and Zai leaps up. You see him coming and try to, like, adjust your trajectory, but he grabs a hold of you, and soon both of you are falling very fast. You, up top, see the both of them collide with the ground. You take no injuries, as he doesn't catch you till sort of near the end, and you haven't picked up too much momentum. But you find yourself strangely in what looks like a large field that's been shaped just like a strip that runs along. It's about this wide. Let me show you here. And both of you land right here. As you land there, you see what looks like the ground behind you being torn up, and a large steel roller with spikes on it starts to emerge straight out of the dirt and starts rotating in your direction. And you see one that comes down from the stone ceiling above as well, and it just creates this huge grinder which starts coming towards you. And while this is happening, if you look in the opposite direction, you see what looks like an obstacle course come into view further down the hall.
God.
I'm out of there, man. Dash.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
What's everybody else up to? You guys hear the machinery and then just see them look over their shoulders and then just start running.
I'll just like turn back to Ivan. It's like, I don't really want to jump down there.
Let's see what happens.
God.
Are you jumping down there, Ivan?
Oh no. I'm waiting to see.
That kind of let's see
go
what
past.
happens. The calmly
this is
watching
how
the
I
faggotry sort of this. Okay. You all stay up there, and Zai and Meneltiern, you start running down the strip here. What is your move speed, Zai?
9. Well, if I dash, I can move 90.
Okay. And Meneltiern? Is it a base 30?
Yeah. 30 or 35? I think it's 30.
Okay. Zai, as you run down this strip, you find that you're able to move faster than the roller with relative ease. You're very swift on your feet. However, the obstacles in front of you present a bit of a challenge. And Meneltiern, you find that you are barely keeping pace with the roller. As it starts to accelerate, you find that it moves roughly at about the same speed that you do.
Great.
Further up ahead, you see popping out of the grass what looks like a bar, roughly at about waist height. What do? You're the first one to get to it, Zai.
A bar that's coming out of the ground?
Yeah, it's a bar that goes across. It's like a hurdle, basically.
Oh, if I take a quick look to the sides, do I notice anything?
Yeah, it comes all the way up from the wall there. So it's like a single large hurdle that goes all the way across this gigantic hall.
I guess I'll jump over it.
Okay. Make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh no. 7.
A 7. Okay. You leap up and you manage to get over it, but you accidentally touch the top of it with the back end of your foot there. And when you do, you hear out some sort of voice that echoes throughout there and says, "No points." You land on the other side, and Meneltiern, while you're running, what do you do with the bar?
I would like to jump over it.
Okay, an acrobatics check, please.
Naturally. I didn't think this is how I was gonna die.
Nobody does. Oh no!
5.
Oh, it's still a 5? Okay. You managed to leap over it, but same as with Zai, who's a good deal ahead of you, you touch the top of it, and the voice echoes out again and says, "No points!" While you're running along, Zai, you see the next one that comes up into view. It looks like a large wall that has been erected out of the ground, and the wall has ropes hanging from it for you to scale it.
Oh yeah, I'll run up and I'll jump up and try to climb it.
Another check from you both, please. Unless Meneltiern, you want to do something different other than scaling the wall.
I'm
Sorry, these are
looking.
athletics checks, not acrobatics.
Right.
Okay, natural 20.
Okay. You see as Zai runs up and he like grabs a hold of the rope and he just flies over the top of this.
I do a
Okay,
flip
that's
and land on my feet.
17.
17. Spurred on by all the adrenaline, you do manage to make it over there. And when you land over the other side, you run for a little bit more and hear the crunch of this wooden wall get just devoured by the rollers that are behind you.
Do we hear anything designating points when we get over?
No, when you get over it,
Okay.
there's nothing. However, as you look over your shoulder, you can see that this set of rollers is only about maybe 20 feet away from you at this point.
So
Whereas-
it's gaining on us.
Whereas Zai, you have like 80,
Oh.
90 feet distance from it.
Great. So it's gaining on me, rather.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
As you are running up, you see what appears as another hurdle there, though this one's slightly higher.
Could
Oh, I
run
got this one.
underneath it?
Okay.
I'm jumping it. I got this one.
You could go underneath it if you'd like. Do you want to do that?
Well, I'm saying how high is it? Like, could I not?
It's a few inches taller than the other one.
Oh, inches.
You want acrobatics?
Mhm.
Athletics?
Yep, same as the last one. Acrobatics, please.
There we go. 17.
Okay. Mental Tyrion contemplates.
Yeah.
You see off in the distance, Zai leaps over this one, and it says 1 point.
I'll jump it.
Okay. Please roll higher than a 10.
Huh, 12.
Oh, okay. You leap over this and hear out the same thing. 1 point! And then soon after, just like as it's all crushed behind you. As you continue
Ahead of
running,
us, is there like an end in sight?
interesting. It looks like more and more of the obstacle course is forming, and you're roughly about halfway. The rollers are only 20 feet behind you, but you can see at the very end what looks like it might be the finishing line. There's a single piece of red fabric that stretches across the hall near the back end. On like a sort of raised area there. In between that, though, it appears that there's a good deal of obstacles up ahead. And the next one that you run into is not what you're expecting. The ground gives way and reveals what looks like a large pit of acid. You can see that there are pieces of the ground that still sit atop the acid and are slowly kind of falling into it. What do you guys want to do?
How big of a gap is it?
It's enough that you could jump over the pieces of earth that haven't been swallowed by it yet, but it'll definitely be a difficult task. And the whole thing from one side to the other would be roughly like this big, with like little chunks and things like that in it.
I just take my staff and just kind of like shake it to activate the water walking ability,
Okay.
and I just run right across.
An Arcana check from you, and then mental tier, or sorry, Zai, what do you want to do?
I would like to use Step of the Wind so that I can double my jump distance and jump across.
Okay, yeah, let's roll acrobatics.
That's 22.
Ooh.
Uh, 20.
Okay, both of you scale this with relative ease, and Zai, you jump off of one of the pieces of earth, which is slowly being swallowed by this acid. You have so much momentum that you're able to leap over to the other side, and Meneltyr is close behind, and he simply activates his staff, a dull magic kind of emanating from it for a moment, and then runs across the acid as though it were simply just a normal wooden floor. On the other side, you see a hurdle that appears, and the hurdle is a little bit taller than the last. What do you guys want to do with it?
Which
I wanna-
would be easier, going over or under it?
At this point, going under it would easily be easier.
Okay, I'm going under it.
I'm
Okay.
jumping it.
You're jumping it? Alright. Acrobatics from just as I.
18.
Oh, just side.
Yeah.
Bad.
Okay. You manage to leap over top of it, Zai, and as you do, you hear 3 points! And, Meneltyr, you just go straight under it, and you hear wah wah that kind of like echoes out throughout the hallway.
I just shout, I do not care.
Yeah, you hear the hurdle just get swallowed up in the mechanism, and you keep running. as you do, you're getting pretty close to the end. You're like 3/4 of the way there. And coming up in front of you, you see what looks like a flaming piece of wood that falls out of the sky and is held up by a pair of chains. And that's when you see that it's actually like it's a sign, and on it says bonus round. And up ahead, you can see what looks like 2 ramps, one set in front of you and one set in front of Zai. And at the end of the ramp, there is a large circle. It's like a huge hoop for you to leap through.
If I were to run past the ramp, would I just get to the finish line?
Yeah.
I'll screw that. I'm running up the ramp and jumping off and trying to do like a couple of flips and go through the hoop.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an acrobatics check, please, Zai.
Zai's enjoying this now. This is fun for him.
Meneltiern, almost being swallowed
20.
by the mechanism, is a little less concerned with point value.
Less joyous. Okay. Yeah, you just ignore the quote unquote bonus round and just continue running. You just like step around the little thing there. You can hear the sound as like the entire ramp itself, and then the hoop is like swallowed up behind you. But ahead of you, Zai, when you jump through yours, you go through it quite easily, and while making a little bit of a spin as you do in a roll, you hear a familiar sound. It's like pop, 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 and all these little bursts of color appear around you. And you think you hear like a faint and familiar voice, like towards the end of the finish line, go, "Yeah!"
I'm just gonna put my hands up and go, yeah!
While in like the background, Meneltiern's just like about to die.
Screaming.
Okay. The last portion of it is a final hurdle that comes up. Do you jump over it, or do you go under it?
I'm gonna jump over it. I'm gonna use another key point to double my jump distance and
Okay.
try to use my staff as like a pole vault almost.
Well, it's basically just a stick at this point. But yeah, get a 15 or higher. How about you, Meneltiern?
Meneltiern ain't about to be flashy and die.
Okay, you just run past it.
Do you want me to re-roll it, or is that...
This is 17.
Okay, so that's 22 then.
So you jump over this last hurdle and hear 4 points and make it over. Meneltiern, you just go under it, and the same like sort of sad horn echoes out, and you finally make your way past. And when you do, Zai, you're first to get there. You cross the line. The red fabric just kind of tears apart, and as it does, you can see there's a little pedestal nearby with Elena standing there, and she goes, "Congratulations, you did it!"
Hooray!
She seems extremely excited at this and like jumps and does like a spin on her little pedestal, and then she looks
I
over.
do the same thing.
She looks over to see Meneltiern coming
Meneltiern is like huffing at this point.
in close second, sweating bullets, and you manage to make it past the barrier here. You get past this little piece of red cloth, which has already been kind of knocked out of the way, and step onto this raised platform. And you hear Elena goes, "Yeah, you did it!" And like the gears of the machine right behind you, they come up like right to the platform, and they like roll a few times, and then just like slowly kind of retract. And
Mithranbor just... What was that?
It was just some good exercise.
Just like cocking his head to the side. Are you insane?
I could run it again, actually. That first jump, I don't know why I couldn't get it.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering, too. Elena.
she turns over towards you, and she says, "Is that your whole group?"
No.
No, there's 2 and a dog.
Oh no.
Crunch.
Okay, what do you folks want to do? You would hear all of this, the shouting, the announcing, and everything. Elena's voice and the voices of your companions off in the distance. You don't hear that bit, but everything leading up to it. And you would have seen like the rollers that chased after them and everything. So what do you guys want to do? The rollers have now retracted and gone back across, and you see the sort of torn up and decimated dirt slowly starts to change to be that of a nice grassy field.
Ivan, I hate to say it, but I think we have to run for it.
I really don't see this going well, but I don't think we have a choice.
Oh no, Ivan.
Don't worry, Ivan. You can just go underneath all the hurdles.
So I'm going to pick up Duke and Cobra.
Oh god,
And-
no.
Is that possible?
Oh no.
Go so badly.
Not like this.
And go down the hole.
I'm following Darren down. Same
Okay.
time.
Both of you land. No one has any sort of way to kind of mitigate the fall. And you both...
I'm going to attempt to roll and just start running in the direction that Zion Minotaur ran, though. Like the
Okay.
moment I hit the ground.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll have both of you make an acrobatics check here.
I'm
See
at
if
the
you're-
other end, waving at you guys.
Okay. So 11.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh god. Okay, so as you guys fall out of this hole here, you're able to do your roll and start getting a head start there. As the rollers come out of the ground, you've already started running. And though you don't run very fast, you've got a decent head start ahead of you. Meanwhile, it looks like Dudarin has collapsed to the ground. And Dudarin, I need you to go ahead and make for me a Constitution saving throw.
21.
Okay. Avoiding spraining your ankle and pulling a tendon or anything like that, you do take 9 points of damage from slamming into the ground, and you also drop Duke and Cobra. So Duke and Cobra kind of winces and then runs up to your side and just kind of looks over and sees the rollers behind you and then just starts booking it in the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's what I imagined he would do. Gonna have to do the same.
Okay. Ivan, you're in the lead, but you're by no means very fast. You see coming up ahead what appears to be a hurdle that comes out of the ground just below waist height. But for you, not so much. The hurdle is, it comes up to the top end of your body here. What do you want to do?
Just based on past experiences, what do I think my chances are of being able to cross this hurdle?
Unlikely. You're a dwarf who's known for many things. Jumping high is not one of them.
Redacted.
Ducking under the hurdle.
Okay, how about you there, Darren?
Do I have to use acrobatics or can I use athletics?
To leap over it?
Yeah.
I
What
would
if
let
he
you roll athletics, but it would be a slightly more difficult roll.
What if he vaulted over it?
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, considering I'm in heavy armor, that's probably my best bet. Because if I go down low, I'm not gonna get up fast.
Okay.
So yeah,
go ahead and make an athletics check, please, Darren. Oh, goodness.
don't worry. That's a 13.
Okay. You leap and get across this first hurdle, and you hear echoing out, 5 points! Meanwhile, you just duck directly underneath, and so too does the dog. And you hear this sad horn wah, wah, just echo out throughout the hall. And coming up is your first challenge. You see what appears to be a portion of the ground that erodes away and leaves in its place a tank of water. And here in this tank of water, you can see what looks like a single large sea creature. It looks like a rather gigantic fish with its mouth perpetually open and just large serrated teeth that run all along its mouth. There appears to be pieces of wood that float atop the actual surface of this this pool, and the pieces of wood are considerably substantial. They're one of them looks like a barn door that you could run across, and another one is like a barrel.
Wowza, I feel like we got it easy.
Well, I'm
How-
going across the wood.
Far. How long? Pit of water. Like how?
The same as that acid pit that I described.
Toss the dwarf.
All right. I'll attempt to, I guess, run across the barn door.
Okay. So you
You
run
do it,
up
yeah.
and go ahead and make for me a acrobatics check, and same to you as
Gonna be
well, there,
athletics.
Darren, if you're gonna do the same thing.
Dwarves are known to be nimble.
Are they now?
12.
10.
Okay. You run across and you manage to make it to the other side, but as you're just leaping from the barn door, this large fish leaps out to attack one of you. Its favorite appears to be... Oh, sorry, that's a 1. Its favorite appears to be you, Ivan. And it makes an attack roll. Does a 19 hit?
19 hits.
Okay. Ivan, you take 11 points of damage as this fish leaps out and tears apart your back leg, but you have enough momentum that you fall onto the other side there. And as you continue running, you hear the sound of glass being torn apart and the creature back there being just shredded by this machine. Up ahead,
Okay.
another hurdle appears.
Can I reach down and quickly just cast Cure Wounds on my leg?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and roll the heal.
Can I do a second wind mid-run?
Yes, you can.
Alright.
Okay. You guys heal up, and you see another hurdle that comes up. This one is so high, Ivan, it goes, like, just up to your forehead, pretty much.
I will look.
Okay. You go underneath, and how about you there, Dudarin?
I will vault over.
Okay. Another roll, please. You go leaping for this, but you don't get enough air, and as you do, you just slam straight into the hurdle. Its wooden frame just kind of breaks apart as you, in all of your weight and your heavy armor, just go smashing through it, and pieces of wood fly all over the place. And you hear womp womp, and fall to the ground there. You're already rather behind Ivan. And
Not
at
like
this
this.
point, it seems like when you get back up to your feet and continue running, the order is kind of like this. And
I'm
the roller
surprised.
is but 20 feet away from you.
I'm surprised the dog isn't farther ahead, to be
Yeah.
honest. Oh.
It could be that he's trying to stay near you. You're not sure. But next up, after that, you see something else that comes into view. And, let's see here.
Bring up a good point.
You see slits that open up in the side of the walls here, and large blades begin to start swinging from one side to the other.
As I'm running, I'm just like, oh, come on!
I would like a dexterity saving throw from both of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll one
I'd-
for your dog.
I'd
as well.
also like, as I'm going through this, prepare my shield and warhammer, one on either side, to like catch the blade in case I fail this.
Okay.
I imagine Zai is also saying,
Oh,
"Oh,
okay.
come on," but like jealously.
17.
That's a 9.
Okay.
I
You
just
get
be
a
yelling advice to them.
Also, I'm actually not in heavy armor. For some reason, I thought I was.
And how about you there, Ivan?
17.
Okay. Ivan, you're able to dodge through these pretty well. You can see up ahead that Duke and Cobra has made it past, but gets nicked by one of them and yelps, but survives getting to the other side. And Dudairn, you too are struck by one of these as you're running, and you take 3 points of damage as one of them nicks along your arm there while you're kind of getting around it and running. But worse than that, it seems to have slowed you down. And now, Ivan, you're about more on par here. And Dudairn, you're lagging further behind. There's only about 10 feet between you and the roller. The sound of it is painfully loud behind you. You see coming up what looks to be a pair of ramps that appear in front of all of you. 3 of them, actually. The dog just moves out of the way, and you can see the ramps lead up to what appears to be these very large hoops. A piece of wood falls from the ceiling, hung by chains, and it says in burning letters, Bonus round.
I'm not going up the ramp, but what I am doing is just shucking off my pack.
Okay.
So I mean, I still have my weapons, my shield, and my money, but everything else is gone.
Okay, so you drop a whole bunch of your gear there, hoping to get a little bit more speed. How about you, Ivan? What are you up to?
You know, let's see. I go up the ramp.
You go up. Oh my god. An acrobatics check, please.
The flying dwarf.
Please.
Ah!
13.
13. Okay.
Oh.
You go up the ramp and you launch off for this hoop, but as you do, you just fall short of it, and you don't even get to the point where you're able to pass it. And you go towards the ground, but your jump is good enough that you're able to recover and start running afterwards. Dudarin, you ran around it, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, you dropped your gear there. At this
I
point,
probably shed like a good 60 pounds just now.
you're starting to pull up, and Ivan's slow speed is starting to get the best of him. You can see up ahead what looks like another hurdle that pops out of the ground. This one goes straight above you, Ivan.
I run under it with no issue.
No issue. Okay, you just pass straight under it. How about you there, Dudarin?
I have to vault it.
Half?
No.
You beat a 15, please.
Why? Why?
Is that literally one less than 15?
Okay. You
That's
run up,
two less.
Okay.
and it smashes through, and you hear once again, wah, wah, and try to get back up to your feet. It is painfully close behind you. Ivan and Duke and Cobra successfully make it to the end, but I need a check from you, Dudarin. An athletics check, please, to try and get here. I need you to beat a 10, lest you be at least partially swallowed by these rollers.
I mean, athletics though.
Oh,
That's a 21.
god.
I thought that was gonna be a 2.
You quickly scramble to your feet. You think that you feel like a tuft of dirt hit against the back of your neck as you start running again, and you just see as everybody makes it to the end there, and you
Nice
just run,
dive.
hoping and hoping and hoping, and finally make it to the end, and the horrible sound behind you disappears.
I just want to dive onto the platform.
Okay. You slide across, you and all of your armor just across the stone, and then slam into the wall there. And Elena looks over at you and goes, "Yeah, you did it!"
Shut up, Elena.
Okay.
I look at Dudarin with my mouth wide open, and I just go, "What was in your bag?"
Oh no!
Oh.
Meneltiern just buries his face in his hands and just shakes his head.
Not
Like,
only the puzzle box,
violently.
but the Sovereign Stone was in there as well.
No, the Sovereign Stone is in my
Oh.
staff.
Okay, good. Thank God. Only fucked us a little bit.
With that realization that you've lost your only way out, we will end the session.
Fuck. The second he said, "I dropped my pack," I was like, no.
Live it up, chat. Live it up. I fucked up.
Holy fuck.
Should have put it.
You're
in my
you're not
in the
allowed
pouch
to hold
with my money.
anything important ever again.
Well, I mean, either.
After that performance, oh man, I'm gonna have to replace you as the leader.
Oh
I mean-
God.
Same result if I got caught by the thing. So
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You each get 5 gold.
Oh, thanks.
yes, I needed that 5 gold.
Does Zai get anything for all of his bonus jumping?
No, but he's the reason you guys got so much gold.
So much gold.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
What have I done?
Table talk. Table talk.
What have I done?
Did dropping the bag actually give him any more distance?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
I did
at the-
legit shed like 60 pounds by
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah.
At the very least, it wasn't entirely in vain.
What else was in that bag?
Torches, bedroll,
Does anything
food,
else matter? Are you fucking
a
kidding
hunting
me?
trap. I had a hunting trap in there, by the way.
Oh, did you have a puzzle box in there that was our only escape from this dungeon?
No,
Well,
I don't think I
there's
ever
an
had
exit
that.
on every
No, you
floor,
don't think
isn't
you ever
there?
had that?
No, I think Ozakataka had that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Holy fuck. Alright, so, chat, everybody watching, thanks for tuning in. I hope you liked it. I had a blast. And, the players, you guys did a thing. To the audience, you guys are great. And thanks to all our patrons. And, we're gonna talk some stuff about how fucked everybody is. See you next time. Oh my fuck.
I'll be right back.
On a scale from 1 to absolutely, how fucked are we?
Uchi's just like, Jesus.
Maybe there's like a lost and found, and we can get it back.
I mean,
I mean, they
Infinite
are
dungeon?
infinite dungeons.
there might be a puzzle box.